Hit record. Okay, here it is. This is it. Enjoy in 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's not working right. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to There Will Be Dungeons. D&D made the happy way. That's a bad slogan. We're not keeping it. I'm just workshopping here, folks. I'm Scott Johnson with Post Schwartz, John Jagger, Kristen Ashton, and of course Kyle Ferguson. Baby Chunks is here with us somewhere as well, floating around, making everyone's life better. Look at that. Oh, hanging out. He's the eye of Grosjean right now. Anyway, we're glad to be back and super stoked because our venerable DM is back. We'll get to all of what we need to do in a minute, but before all of that, tossing it to Kristen, who will give us a little recap. Last time we saw our heroes in There Will Be Dungeons.
Last time on There Will Be Dungeons, Stanley detailed the daring depiction of defending the dispatch. Tabacho took the token and tarried. Where was the withered wing? Stanley told the truth. Only the opulent object had been ordered. Accepting the accord, Tabacho proclaimed the portal procurement would happen with the help of a happy hooligan titled T. Badass T. Bounty bought, they prepared to part, but Tabacho had one more worrisome word. Hope now netted a substantial sum if seized. Badass T bounded into a bustle. He requested a rickshaw and hurried them to a house possessed by none other than the Pollywog Peddler. They bartered a bargain to procure perpetual portal access, laying a fair foundation for their future. However, as they exposed the extraordinary exit, Badass T murdered the merchant. Doorway dissipated, they stared at a stirring starport. Badass T bullied them briskly to their barge and departed without delay. The group grumbled about the seemingly senile slaughter of the salesman, but T boated bounty hunters and blew up the boatyard before they sped through space. Meanwhile, Hope and her posse arrived to ascertain Asmodeus aligned with the principal. Droves of demons had also destroyed the principal's domain, and now he proposed a partnership. The next necessity was locating a looker, and Tabacho was the teller. At the same time, Nash, Stanley, Squirts, and Varel were fascinated by a phallic floating figure, a spicy spaceport. They disembarked to a statue of Stanley standing out front. Then, as they entered, a notable noggin of Nash welcomed them to his waypoint. Now rejoin our heroes as they figure out the friendly face in space. Is this the foundry of future Nash? Why is there a Stanley statue? And could this possibly have been the purpose of the punted penis? Stay tuned for today's adventure through the clean halls and weird walls of Nash's Nads.
Oh man, now I remember. We're in Penis Town. All right.
Yep.
Bo, it's in your hands.
All right. I want everyone to close their eyes or virtually close their eyes if they still want to keep them open. But picture a vista, a point of view from space, but not galactic space, inter-universal space where you can see many different galaxies slowly swirling and spinning, the vast emptiness of darkness before you. And it seems to suddenly rush faster and faster as if some pull was accelerating you up to the speed of light. Galaxies fly past, and then you end up upon one galaxy. And it appears that you're on a collision course with it as the stars grow brighter and the lights become more and more their own like pixels in the background. You get closer and closer. You begin to see stars everywhere, as far as your eye can see, in every direction you look around. But in this galaxy, floating along slowly but somewhat menacingly, is a large yellow nebula. It's kind of yellow and brown. It's floating through the stars and moving. And you realize that you're magnetized to it. You're on a collision course with this nebula. And as you get closer, you can feel turbulence and wind and some counter forces pushing, rattling whatever body it is you're inhabiting. And the nebula begins melting your camera a little bit. And so your vision begins drooping as you fly through clouds and clouds of brown and yellow. And as you go deeper and deeper, you begin to slow down as you see floating across with a little tracer behind it of yellow and brown. These two rocks, misshapen, one large and one smaller. And as these rocks get closer, you see that it's an asteroid or meteor, some kind of celestial body that's made of rock, two round rocks connected together, and a tower leaning slightly in one direction in this area where the two rocks connect. But it appears to be moving across space. This isn't a fortress that is sitting still. It is slow. It's slow now because you're getting closer, but when you were farther out, it looked fast. And you zoom in and you see the large statue of Stanley greeting all the newcomers to this place. And as you get closer, you move past the airship and you move past the wharf, the space wharf that's out there. And you see if there's a building with large smokestacks, smoke billowing out. There's another strange building, but you get to the tower, and the tower entrance is a large skull, and the door is in the skull. And the door creaks open just a little bit to let you through. And you enter into this large round chamber. So the ceiling is so high. And all on the wall, it's brick. It's these large brick stones, and they look like they've been there for millennia. They're all sort of crumbly and crappy, and lots of fungus on some of the walls, very musty and dirty. And as you get closer into this room, you see yourselves: Stanley, Billings, Pharrell Rasfim Keurig, Squirts and Chunks, and a confused Nash Maggard of the Solar Mine, staring up at the wall across from the door, where, made out of the stone, is a large version of his face, including some red stone where his red eye is, and little deformations where you would normally find warts and tumors. Badass T is also standing on some stairs. He's sitting on the stairs with one leg lower, kind of relaxed, kind of used to being in this place, and he just seems to be filing his nails with a nail file. The face looks at you, Nash, and says, "All right, I know you've got a lot of questions right now. But don't worry, you're safe."
What is this place? Oh, sorry.
Just really distracted because the sun's paying me a visit here. My camera's super. Just ignore it. It'll pass.
Just picture him in a little top hat going, "Boo, it's that time of day," and it starts shining through the thing.
Yeah. All right.
Hello.
So the face of this stone Nash looks at you and says, "I know you got a lot of questions, but don't freak out or anything."
What is this place? This is a dream. What is this?
It's no dream, Junior.
Junior? I'm no one's junior.
The face sort of inches a bit over, looking towards Badass T. "Did you ask him if he knows about the time barf?" Badass T goes,
I don't think that came up. Nash, do you know anything about time barf? Time barf.
A little. Only that it exists, and somehow it involves other versions of me. Some are cleaner than me, some are less clean. And that's it. I don't understand how it works.
"Yeah, well," and the stone face speaks up, "I don't really get it either, and I'm older than you. But
okay.
This place is special."
Okay, is this a real place? Because I feel like we're getting jacked around in a dream.
"It's about as real as stubbing your toe on an anvil."
It's not a very common occurrence, but I take your meaning.
"I know. Look, this is going to be a lot for you to take in, but I'm you, but tower style."
Why is the whole thing shaped like a dick?
Both Nashes laugh. The wall begins going, and Nash is also laughing.
I mean, really, it's one giant phallic symbol in space. This isn't real. Send us back to where you found us. Wake us up. Stop this madness.
No. Fight the urge to reject everything you're seeing. This is all we could afford that had everything we needed. You ever heard the saying on Earth, beggars can't be choosers?
Yeah, but I don't understand how that applies here. That normally means that if you're really hard up for something, you can't be too choosy about what people give you. If they give you dirty bread, you take it.
Well, the only thing I could afford was dirty bread.
And you're saying we have to take it, you're saying.
Badass T speaks up and says, we looked at a lot of places, but they didn't have all the facilities we needed.
That's right. You remember Badass T, don't you?
Vaguely. He says truthfully.
Right.
I'm going to look at
Stanley.
Stanley.
Where is your Badass T?
What, our version of him?
Yeah, so you pick up quick, right?
I guess.
Where's your version of Badass T?
Is this another dimension we're in? Where my head is huge and on a wall?
Okay, I don't want to blow your mind or anything, but we're in all dimensions.
What?
Well, not really, but that's good enough to think that way for now. You might as well.
I'll turn around and look at Stanley and say, Stanley, you're hearing this, seeing this, right?
Stanley! Oh, I didn't even notice you there. It's good to see you, old friend.
Jeez.
Well,
You're still walking around with a stick shoved in your butt?
Nash, this is both surprising and the least surprising thing I could have imagined for this place.
This isn't my doing. I don't know anything about this. I don't know what this is. That statue of you, I don't know what that is. I don't know why there's a giant face that talks like me and sounds like me and pretends to be me. I don't know anything about this place. This is all news to me.
Nash,
Stanley, go easy on me.
This isn't the first time this has happened. It's we've run into plenty of other Nashes.
Okay, good. So that means I have to explain less, which I like.
All right. But they weren't giant heads on a wall in space.
Okay, so we're going to set some ground rules here, Junior. I'm just calling you that because it's good to remind me that I'm older than you.
How much older?
You don't want to know.
Really?
It's complicated. Listen. All right. That's some ground rules. First, call me the first Nash. Because I'm the first one.
That ever?
No, I'm the first one to be turned into a tower.
Oh.
So just call me the first Nash.
The first Nash. Nash the first. Got it.
I like first Nash.
Okay, first Nash. It doesn't really roll off the tongue, but that's fine. You do.
Normally, I'd fight with you, but you're me, and you have a thought maybe, and so I want to listen. You think I should be called Nash the First?
I think Nash the First just sounds better. First Nash sounds like sounds like a word you didn't mean to say.
All right, Badass T, write that down. Badass T just shrugs.
You're gonna have to explain yourself and quick. I've got a lizard partner here that is not gonna like this. You know Varel, I assume.
Hello, Varel. It's good to see you again.
He's not me, dude.
Again. Yes.
I have to tell you a lot in a little bit of time.
Please do.
Okay. So you know about adjacency and how like certain wizards of the universe might traverse time. But when they do it, it doesn't really work like you remember Back to the Future?
Yeah.
The solar mine?
Yeah, we watched it on a very old videotape machine. It didn't last very long, but I remember it.
You remember how Marty? Well, he was Marty. I think
Marty. Don't worry about it. Marty McFly. It's common where I come from.
So in this movie, Marty goes back in time because I think his parents don't have sex or something, and then he's not born. So he's got to go back to make sure they get born.
Yeah, and the picture disappears. If
Right.
It doesn't, yeah.
And that really formed, how people still think time travel. If you go to Sigil, they'll probably ask some idiot gnome, like, "Hey, idiot gnome, how does time travel work?" They probably give you an explanation like Back to the Future.
Vorel, do you still have your alcohol with you?
I'm afraid it's all spent.
Well,
I'm still concerned that this man is going to teleport Tinder inside your rectum.
What? Whoa, Varel, I missed your beautiful brain.
It's a turn of phrase, Vorel. He
Are you
wants
still
to know
drinking?
if I'm still being uptight and difficult.
I see.
It made perfect sense to me when he said it.
Tower Nash. Am I included in this place? Is there a vile portrayal of me amongst these walls?
Nash the First's face remains motionless.
Answer him.
Who, me?
Yes. Is there a version of Varel around here, like another statue?
He was
or-
addressing Tower Nash.
No, he said statue Nash. Who's
No,
Power
I'm
Nash?
Nash the First. That's the only edit I'll take to my name.
I
Nash?
think Tower Nash is a better name.
Tower Nash.
We could call him Tash for short.
Yeah. How about
But
Tower?
very
No,
well.
look, hang on. I haven't finished with the rules. I guess I have to explain the first one, even though it was pretty simple. Call me First Nash. We've already changed that rule.
All in
Skip the
favor
lore about
of-
Marty and move on.
It's there may you look. You see these pedestals around the room, and as you look around briefly, you see that there's about 10 different circles, like in stonework on the ground around the periphery of this circular room.
Okay.
This is a council chamber. Well, it's actually we call it the Accord Room, and this is where different Nashes meet to figure out what we're gonna do. So the second rule is act with a little respect when you're in the Accord Room.
Wait. Are you saying there are more Nashes here than just me and you?
Well, not here, but throughout the time barf, there are an infinite number of Nashes, and everybody.
But you meet here? This is your...
Some of us do, and since there's many Nashes, we have to have a good way to know who's talking to who. So all the Nashes have to wear different color robes. So they call me Nash the First, but there could be red Nash and yellow Nash and green Nash.
I'd ask
Is
you where...
Tower Nash taken?
Yeah, Tower Nash.
No, it's not taken.
Then take
All
that.
right. All in favor of Nash the First being renamed Tower Nash?
Aye.
Aye.
Tower
Yes.
Nash.
I don't like this.
It's okay. I don't like a lot of things. Wait, you're you, I'm me. But get back to the question about Varel.
No, statements only.
Is there a visage of Varel here that he needs to worry about? This is important to his kind.
Tower Nash is silent for a moment.
Tower Nash.
he looks over. He looks over at Badass T, and Badass T kind of looks up and looks over at Tower Nash. They exchange a glance that seems knowing, and they don't speak.
Varel, I think that means there's something to do with you here and now they're being real tight-lipped about it. They want to blab on all day about Back to the Future and Marty McFly, but they don't want to say anything about your statue or your face or whatever.
Well, Nash, it's not like that. It's hard to say hard things.
Oh, wait. Are you saying something happens to Varel in your timeline? He's still here with us.
Our Varel died in battle.
Well, he's not going to be sad about that. He likes that idea.
That's true. It means I am the strongest Varel.
Yeah, you hope to do that again. I mean, he hopes ultimately one day to triumph and die in battle. If he's going to die, that's where he wants to do it.
Well, it isn't just Varel that died. It's Stanley. He died. And Hope, she died too.
So wait.
So I erected...
Okay.
When I founded this place, I erected some memorials in their name.
This place is erected, all right.
Yeah, it's to celebrate the heroes and to find a way forward to save the galaxy, but most importantly, to save Hope's soul.
Says Badass T.
But our hope isn't here. She's not with us right now. You didn't bring her here, or did you?
Badass T looked over and he's like, "What did you do, badass?"
I didn't do anything. I went to Tabacho's like you instructed. I covered all of our tracks and brought them here, but there's no hope. And then Badass T looks to you and says, "Where is she?"
Hope decided to betray us and leave.
It's not true at all.
It's exactly what happened.
Hope ascended, knowing a weapon was suited for her arm.
Uh-huh, and is she here helping us deal with all our problems, or is she off doing whatever the hell she wishes?
I would have you take a different tone, Stanley. Were you doing whatever you wished while you were gone, stuck in a mere dimension of clowns?
What?
When we're not around, it doesn't mean that anybody is up to any evil. I was working hard to win a M-Sports tournament in your favor to release you. Likely Hope is working hard as well.
Sure, I'm sure she's going to pop up any second and deliver us from all the perils that are about to befall us. We've nearly died countless times already. Well, maybe not countless, 3 or 4, since she left, and she hasn't been here for a single one. She dashed off at the first opportunity to grab power. That's all she's ever been after.
Stanley, search your heart.
Says Badass T.
Search your hat?
Search your heart, I
Oh,
said.
heart.
I don't have lips. Remember? It's hard to say some words.
Search your hat.
Search your heart, Stanley. You'll know that she's good.
I thought she was. She proved otherwise.
She's
This is
still-
a great big time barf with infinite possibilities. Maybe we got saddled with the one actually evil Hope.
Well, says first or Tower Nash. Think of this place as my home, which means it's your home too. So you're welcome to rest here and Badass T, give him the map. Badass T checks his pockets and gets out a folded piece of paper and then hands it over to you, Stanley. And if you refer to Roll20, you'll have a visual now of where you are.
Walls greatly outweigh the tower.
Wow.
Wow.
What is
Holy shit! It's like
That's-
one amoeba eating another.
That's crazy.
Welcome to Planet Nash.
Holy shit. Oh, no. I have no
Now, for-
planet.
For our listeners at home benefits, there's a map of 2 asteroids. They're actually taken from the NASA picture, so these are real asteroids in space you're looking at right now. Called Ultima and Thule, but in Planet Nash form. And there's a tower in the middle, and there's 3 things marked on the tower. The Accord Room, which you're standing in. There's a Junk Room in the middle of the tower, and there's a Teleporting Room at the top of the tower. You see outside of the tower, there's Stanley Spaceport with the USS Persistilence docked at the station. There's Vorel's Sandburger Factory and Hope's Gymnasium, and a Maggard Vale Brontor Park.
Maggard Vale? What's the skeleton down here?
That's just the entrance. It's a skull face that you walk through to get inside the tower.
Okay.
It's a very rush Photoshop job.
I just thought it was
Trying
like,
not to also violate any Creative Commons, all public domain crap in here.
for some reason I thought it was like a don't go here dangerous place or something.
No. There is a skull. Oh, the skull on the bottom left is a looks like a warning.
Okay.
So, anyways, try not to make too much trouble and make yourselves at home. I'm sure. And then Nash stops for a second. Do you guys hear that?
What?
Maybe I don't hear it. Nash, use your eye.
Okay. In what way? Usually it just
There,
gets
hear it again.
usually it just gets all hot and red when something bad's about to happen, or I get mad.
Yeah. But use it to find her.
To find who?
Do you not know how to use your eye?
I mean, outside of the things I just told you about my right eye, which is otherwise a blind garbage eye, no.
Are you sure you're Nash and not someone here to kill me?
I have
He
proof.
doesn't know how to use most of his limbs.
I have proof, and I'll drop my pants and show him that I got a Cthulhu rip in my groin.
Oh,
Somehow
Jesus!
he proved me right exactly in the moment that I said
Why
it.
is he shocked?
You humans ugly!
And the tower face sort of pulls out from the wall a bit and looks closer, and draws breath.
Yeah.
You're Nash, all right.
Do humans do that normally?
No.
I'll be honest with you. One of the benefits of becoming a tower was that I didn't have to look at that thing for a long time, and so no thanks. Put your pants back on or whatever.
All right. So now that you know who I am, what is this map? What is the point? What are we doing?
It looks like I've got to. Because I noticed that you're not here with Angelashi.
Don't say her name. What have you done with her?
I haven't done anything. What have you done with her? Where is she?
Well, you're telling me about how your Varel died and your Hope died and all this other stuff. Do not tell me that there's something wrong with her.
My Angelashi died too.
Well, mine hasn't.
Well, then you need to get her. I can feel her. Look. You're not what you think you are, Nash. Reach out with your eye.
I'm gonna.
And the Tower Nash closes his one eye, and the red eye begins to vibrate and shake the stone, and there's crumbling. You hear it as like red rocks crumble on the ground, and then the face goes, "Ew, ew," and the eye pops out of a socket, and this sort of piece of stone sort of floats out, and it's floating connected to like eye, whatever eye canal. What do you call it? Nerve endings and stuff that from the eye to the thing. And it pops out of his eye, and it begins glowing red. See, Nash, look, pop out your eye.
I'll turn around to my companions and go, I'm not aware of what this is. I don't want to pull my
Nash.
What do you mean pull out my own eye? I don't even know how to do that.
No, don't use your hands. Use your mind.
Right. Listen with your eye. Yeah,
think
I'll be outside.
Are you leaving? Are you actually leaving?
Can I leave?
You can do whatever you want.
All right, I'm gonna go wait outside.
I'm
of this
going
room.
with Varel.
Wait, I need backup. This is getting weird.
No, pretend you poop, but from face.
Yeah, listen to her. It's a little weird, but I get it.
All right, let's get this over with. And I'll grunt and go, just try to push my eye out of its socket, I guess.
Make an athletics check, please.
Athletics. Holy shit. All right. Oh my gosh. Here you go. Oh no, that's a D20. There we go. An 8.
Okay, so you try to pop out your eye, and you just succeed at giving yourself a mild headache. Because no, use your intuition. Feel Angelashi with your mind.
But what does it have to
How
do with
about-
my eyeball?
Well, your eyeball is everything. Hang on.
Okay.
I'm looking something up. I can't do both at the same time.
No, you're totally fine.
Just try focusing your feelings. Think about how Angelashi makes you feel.
Okay,
And
now
then
what?
Use it.
Nothing's happening.
If you'd like to try again, make another roll.
Okay.
And
Athletics.
This time you choose the skill that you use.
Oh.
Any skill.
Can I choose ahead of time?
Yeah, you can choose before you do it. Pick
I'm
a
gonna
skill
use
and
I'm gonna use persuasion because it's my highest bonus right now.
Convince your eye to pop
Yep,
out.
I have good charisma too, but I'll do that. So, let me give me a +8. Here we go. Do you really want to know what I got?
yeah.
A natural 1 on the 20 and an 8. I got a 9.
Okay.
I got one more than the last roll after it had.
All right.
Ugh.
You try with total intensity this time to use your powers of persuasion to coax your eye out of your head. Unfortunately, you try really hard, but it doesn't seem to work, and there's a sort of warm wetness in your ear.
In my ear.
Yeah,
Right ear.
it's your right ear.
I'll kind of like bang it to the side and dig it out with my finger and go, "What is this?"
All
If
right,
you're-
so there's goopy tumor pus and blood on your finger, and it's stringy, just like it's sort of attached as you put your finger out.
I swear, Wall Nash, if you're Tower Nash, if you're just gonna give me an aneurysm and this was all just to kill me.
No! Use your feelings for her. If you wish to continue, pick another skill and try again.
All right, I'm choosing the same skill. 21. 13 and an 8.
Okay, this time you center yourself. You pick the skill and you try to push it out. Powers of persuasion are moving through your mind as you try and coax it out. You feel now a large gushing coming out of your ear, and it's dripping onto your shoulder. Don't try to talk yourself into doing it. Just do it. Use your feelings. You know, like the one you feel when you see a froghemoth egg and you gotta lick it. You just have to lick it.
Yeah.
That feeling.
Well, that takes a lot of concentration.
So what skill do you think best reflects that feeling of curiosity you have?
Probably. Oh, geez. That's probably the closest thing I have to to religion. Because
You're gonna try and religion your eye
yeah,
out?
I'm gonna try to religion my eye out.
Well, what about Arcana?
I could do Arcana.
It's up
mean-
to you. I'm just asking,
I mean,
think about
Arcana's higher.
why you're picking the thing you pick.
It's Arcana's higher, but if I'm answering directly your question about what does it take for me to smell a froghemoth or eat a thing off the ground, it's religion.
Okay.
It's not Arcana.
Squirts will help. Squirts will help. And then she'll come over and touch your foot, and you get to roll a d4 and add that number to one ability check of your choice.
Nice. All right, in that case, we'll do religion, which is +3
And you get an extra D4.
plus a d4. So here we go. And then a d4. Oh, come on, stop it. Total of 8. Gosh, dang it.
You try to channel that, and as you channel it, this time using the same source of concentration and inner focus that you do when you're picking up bat guano, you feel your eye move a little bit, and then all of a sudden your vision's a little crooked and weird. You felt it move.
What have you done? I felt it move. What have you
There,
done?
you're doing it. I see it. Keep going.
Okay.
You've got it. Don't stop.
Nash, take more power! You
All
get
right.
another d4.
All right, I'm gonna do an Arcana this time, and
You did religion last time.
yeah, I did. So I'm doing Arcana this time. 20, not natural.
Okay. Oh, your eye sinks back into your head, and Tower Nash goes, "No, you had it. You were so close. Whatever it was you were doing was working. Just try harder."
All right.
So religion was working for you, but your roll was very low.
All right, I'll go back to religion.
You still, Squirts will close her eyes and she'll go, and you still get a d4 for this one.
All right. Here we go. Nat 20. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's a 17-3. Sorry. And another 2, so 22.
Okay. This time you center yourself, you channel your frustration at the stupid wall Nash, or tower Nash. And you begin to stop trying hard and begin to feeling the right thing. Like you have a feeling of Angelashi sort of growing inside you, just a memory of her, whatever it is that you imagine. And you begin to see part of your vision float around, and everyone hears and there, it wasn't loud enough, was it?
There you go.
And Nash, your red eye floats out, connected by the nerve endings, and it just hovers in the air. Now only Squirts can see this because I think Varel and Stanley have left. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and so your eye floats out into the air, and then you gain a new type of vision. It's something that you feel, and that your feelings turn into shapes.
Okay.
And then Tower Nash is sort of behind this, so you can see his face as everything darkens, and he says, "Good. Now find her."
I don't know how to do that.
Think about her.
Okay. All right, I'll think about her. Do I need to aim a certain way?
I need to aim my emotions.
No, I'll say to him, I say, do I need to aim the eyeball or anything? You know?
All right. So, and as you say that, all of a sudden your vision, your regular ability to see, like from your cerebral cortex, is just gone. Boom. You can't see all of a sudden. And it's black and ripply for a second. And then you're in, what do we call that place? Orferwitz? You're in Tietkala and Orferwitz. And you're in one of the Trashburg alleys with the houses there. And you see running barefoot Angelashi down an alleyway.
Running.
She's running, panting, and you can feel her emotion is hurried. She's running between buildings. She don't know from what. Your vision can only extend as far as her feeling. So you just feel fear and tension as she's running through the streets of Tietkala. And she looks up and sees the object of her fear. One of those Nikoloths that you fought at the White Tower, green and large, flying down, lands in front of her. And she looks like trying to turn around for escape. She's too close to escape, and the Nikoloth begins stomping in her direction. And just as he's about to reach close and come in for one of those claw grabs that they do and just pick her up, you can hear a little from behind him, and then the Nikoloth looks around. And you see as he looks around, Bok barreling down the alleyway as Bok pulls 2 sticks of dynamite from out of his thing and jumps up into the air and starts clambering on his back and tries to crawl into his mouth. And stunned, the Nikoloth's like, huh? And he starts grabbing onto Bok's legs as Bok tries to run into the Nikoloth's mouth with the dynamite. And then he starts pulling him out. There's this sort of fight. He's like, ah! And like Bok's holding onto the tonsils like, ah! And the Nikoloth is like, ah! And with that, Angelashi having a free moment, her hands glow blue. And her belly, pregnant with your child, glows blue. And you see these 2 little handprints on the belly as they glow blue as the baby pushes the handprints up against her belly. And she immediately casts some sort of hold person or hold monster spell upon this thing. And as the Nikoloth is trying to rip out, he has to stop. And then Bok slips down into his throat. And then the Nikoloth's stomach explodes. And the Nikoloth's asshole explodes. And Bok goes shooting right out of the butt as the corpse just goes. And Angelashi runs past the exploding corpse, grabs Bok by the arm, and runs off in the direction of the Golden Sands.
I'll go, Angie!
And your vision returns to normal, and your head sort of pops back into your head. Your eye pops back into your head. You gotta save her now.
I'll fall to my knees and yell her name again. I'll go.
Well, do it. Do your Stella.
Jay! Like that, as loud as I can.
Well done, sir.
Pound the sand up by my feet.
Give yourself a DM inspiration for that.
Oh, wow. All right.
Getting into it. All right. So Tower Nash looks at you and he goes, "You gotta save her now. Get to the teleporting room. Badass.
Where is
Take him to
this?
the junk room."
Oh, okay. Wait, I need my friends. I'm not going without them. I'll need their help.
We'll go get them.
All right.
Man, they're really disappointing.
I agree.
They left before we explained any of this. Now you've got to explain it again.
They'll be fine just going where we gotta go. Give me a sec, and I'll run out there and find those guys and go, "Hey, Varel, Stanley, we gotta go. Follow me. I'll explain on the way.
Where exactly are we going?
We're going to something they're calling a teleport room. My wife, Angela Ashe, if you remember her, she's pregnant still and fighting off horrible things with Bok Bok. And they need our help.
Oh, we're going home. Finally.
It seems like maybe we are.
You also notice that there's a massive amount of pus and blood coming out of Nash's ear and like dripping down the side.
I'll notice that they're looking at that and go, "Don't worry about this. This is just part of the eyeball thing he taught me how to do." But I could see her I could see her running and fighting, and we gotta go. We gotta get. Unless you really want to hang around here.
No, I really don't. Let's.
All right, well, kiss your
we're
statue
heading
goodbye.
home, let's head home.
All right, kiss your statue goodbye. Let's go. And now we'll.
And
yeah.
As you re-enter the tower, you enter at the same time as someone pushes it open. So make a dexterity check, please.
Just me, right?
Who? All of us, or
Just Nash, because he's the one rushing around.
okay?
5.
Okay, so whoever opened the door on the other side opened it faster than you could react, and so you get hit in the face with the door.
Great. That's
And
all
then,
right.
but you look on the other side, you don't see anyone for a second in your consternation. Then you look down and you see that there's a gray fur-coated Tungan. And he looks up at you and he goes, "Oh, excuse me, sir." There's one eyeball, big mouth, looks like a meatball. He's opening the door. Excuse. Oh, you're a Nash.
I'm the Nash.
They all say that. They all think they're the Nash. "Oh, excuse me, I have to be on my way. Good day to you." And the Tungan moves past you and walks, and he goes, "Tunga, tunga, 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 tunga." And he sort of happily walks down the path.
Now we find a Tunga with English. Keep moving.
All right, so you guys head in, and you're back in the Accord room. Nash is there. He's going, "All right, you see on the either side of the Nash, there's a stairwell that leads up to 2 doors on either side." And he said, and the Nash says, "Take any of these doors and stairwells. Don't worry, they're door authority free, so you won't have any trouble from the doors in here. Get up to the junk room. Badass T has got a few surprises for you."
I thought we were going.
"Yeah, you got to go to the teleporting room, but there's a junk room before the teleporting room. You know how stairs work in your version of reality?
Yeah.
Okay, they work the same way here."
I think I prefer Tower Nash, honestly.
Well, he's less portable. Let's go.
All right, so you guys begin running up, and the stairs just kind of lead up sort of endlessly. You're kind of like a little exhausted. You get halfway up to the tower. It takes a long time to ascend. And you see that there's a door, and it's ajar, and you hear a lot of banging and junk. And you hear,
Oh shit! Ow! Ah! I wish you didn't talk about stubbing toes, because that's why I stubbed mine. Ah!
you hear Badass T coming from the junk room. Do you want to go in, or do you want to continue the teleport?
Let's see what's going on in there.
Yeah.
We'll be on our way.
I'm tempted
It's
to
been a
ignore it.
long day. Any advantage we're gonna have to save somebody, we can take.
Okay, so you push open the junk room door, and it's this heavy wooden door. Looks very medieval and wizard tower. You just go, "Rrr." And inside you see torches all along a circular room, just like what's down below in the Accord room. But this time instead, there's a big circular pit and like a ladder and it almost looks like it was a medieval pool. There's a little wharf, but in the pool, it's just filled. It looks like a dump. it's just filled with all manner of shit, like bed frames and piping, and just like things you don't even recognize. You're just not even sure what to describe them as. And then Badass T is there, and he's taken some stuff out and put them on like a towel, and he's like digging through the junk, trying to find, you presume, useful junk from the junk room.
There was supposed to be some useful items in here.
Yeah, you're gonna love this, Stanley. Come here. I see you maybe missing a few things that might belong to you.
And then he runs over to the other side of the platform that isn't, where you stand and not dived into the junk pile. And he's got like this roadie rig, like case, like it has wheels and it's big and black. And he rolls it over and he goes, tush, tush, knocks on the side and it pops open. And you can hardly believe yourself, Stanley. Make not an apprehension, but make a surprise check, please.
Okay.
Let's see if you're capable of not being surprised.
This is a D20.
Yep.
Okay.
Just a D20.
I rolled a 5.
Okay, you can't fight the feeling of surprise and shock. Inside this roadie case are a number of weapons and items, 3 of which you immediately recognize: diplomacy, your megaphone, and your English dictionary. Next to them is our Hope's guns and the belt. And then next to them is Nash's stick with a nail in it. I kept these after. Well, I mean, I didn't keep Nash's. He became a tower.
He became a tower, so he didn't need them. But, when you died, I kept these. I don't know why, just to remember Hope and everyone Hope loved as mementos. So you deserve to have them for sure.
Well, I agree. They're ours. Hand them
Well,
over.
the staff isn't yours. It belongs to Tower Nash.
Tower Nash is stuck as a giant face in a tower.
But maybe you should ask him. It isn't nice to take things without asking.
How does he even wield a staff now? With his mouth? Does he hold it like a toothpick?
Don't ask me those questions. He has an answer for everything. Or you have an answer for everything.
Can I talk to him from here, or do I have to go down there?
I don't know how you do it. Do you have Nash telepathy?
No,
Look,
I just thought
we
maybe
don't have time for this. He can't steal from himself. It's might as well be his.
Persuasion check, please, Stanley.
That's a really good point. Can I help him persuade and give advantage?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Give him a +2 or 8 another, or it's advantage, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Okay,
advantage.
well, with the advantage, it's a 29.
Okay, I see your point. Badass T's like, okay, I see your point. Go ahead, Nash.
He takes out the staff and he hands it to you.
All right. I'll strap it to my back.
Sweet. So add a quarter staff to your inventory. Remember, it wasn't magical in any way that we had established.
No, it wasn't. It was just a physical
But it's
thing.
your stick.
Okay. Yeah, I have some feelings for it.
Stanley
It did
says,
work as your focus, though, right?
Yeah, it did. I used it as a
Yeah,
focus.
did work as a focus.
Okay, I'm adding it now.
And then I get diplomacy and the megaphone and the book back?
Your English dictionary.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Is it actually mine? I open up the cover and look at the front page.
Investigation check, please, or some other reading one, if there's a better one for studying a tome briefly.
Quarterstaff.
22.
It's your book. You don't remember maybe some of the tear marks in it, but you can't remember what your tear marks were in. So it looks, for all intents and purposes, identical. Maybe just a little different wear and tear. But it's been so long since you've seen yours, you're not quite sure.
I never thought I was going to see these ever again. Stanley starts quietly just tucking them away.
Well,
Badass T. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say I never thought I'd see this staff again, but we can admire these later. We gotta go.
Varel, I didn't keep anything of yours because you don't like things, if I remember correctly. But here you go. And he takes Hope's guns and belt. Here, why don't you use these? They're not doing much good in here, and they're pretty powerful from what I understand. I
Sure.
have used them on occasion.
All right,
I'll hold
so
on to them for her.
give yourself Hope and Scully and Smokey's belt. I think there's still items that are available.
I will do that.
And I don't have anything for your friend here, but if it wants to swim through the junk room and find whatever it is, you can, just check with me before you take it in case it's important.
Squirts has just been standing there staring, little tears in her eyes. It's so beautiful. She can't do anything but stare.
Wait, are you telling me that in all our times seeing alternate versions of us, we've never had a Squirts with us?
No, I've never seen. What is that? What is it? Is it a goblin, like a hobgoblin?
It's beautiful. And her little lip quivers. This trash is too much.
Where did you find her?
She found us. She just been kind of following us, honestly.
Well, if she's on your friends, then she's on our team.
She's a powerful wielder of magic. Don't underestimate her by her size.
Yeah. Like me, I'm powerful. Don't underestimate me by my size either.
Okay, I'll make sure not to.
All right, so there's just one more thing. She's gonna kill me if we don't do this. Let's go to the teleporter room.
And then Badass T begins running up the stairs in his gas mask, and you hear him going as he runs up the stairs.
Okay, we'll follow, I guess.
All right, so the four of you assemble together and follow, and at the top of the stairs is one more large room. You burst it open. It's just an empty brick room. There's like torchlight up on the walls, but over in the corner, you notice like a dollhouse and a really small, desk and some writing implements, and you hear a little. And then from your remove, this being evidently hasn't noticed you. A little humanoid with wings starts fluttering around the dollhouse, just flying up and then landing down. And then it picks up a rake, and there seems to be like this sort of little yard, and is kind of raking leaves together and going. In the middle of this room on the other side, your attention was immediately captured by that because it's mostly an empty room, but there seems to be a small living space in one corner where there's like grass and a house. In the center of the room is a teleportation circle, like the one in Tiet Kala that you've seen before. So if you have the teleportation spell, you'll be able to make use of this circle. The rest of the room, it has a few windows, not windows, just openings that are windows, no glass, and torches along the side.
There's a teleportation circle there, but before you use it,
and Badass T puts his hand on your shoulder and he leans in quietly and says,
try not to scare her. She's been through a lot. But I think she'd be really happy to see you.
Wait a minute. That can't be. That's not who I think it is. That's not Pod.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah. I watched Pod die.
The singing stops, and the little figure with wings stands up straight, looks around, looks back at you, and immediately, like a bullet, and you hear, "No!" I need a minute.
I think we all do. People need to have their hearing.
Wow.
And with that, we go to the break because I need more than a minute.
Yeah.
See you in 5 or 10.
Yeah. See you guys in 5 or 10. We'll be back in a bit with more. There will be dungeons. Stay with us. Don't go too far. Let's get back to it here. Hold on. Okay, we're back. We're back, everybody. We're back. And Bo was just yelling at us. Now we're back. Bo,
Okay,
what's going
speeding
on?
like a bullet, Pod flies towards your face and then grabs your cheek and gives you a big hug and a big kiss. You hear, Nash, oh my God. Oh, I keep covering my mouth because I'm badass. Nash, it's so, Nash! Ah! Oh, she's kissing your cheek.
I'm going to grab her with my hand, my little baby hand,
Yeah.
and just kind of steady her and go, you're not, this can't be. I watched you die.
Whoa, where did this hand come from?
It's a long story. Actually, I don't remember
This is
how
a
I got it.
baby's hand.
I know, but it's part of me now. It doesn't matter. You're not. You don't remember it because you're not. They're not the pod that was with me before. I'm a different Nash.
Nash, Pod makes a sad face and goes, I've been waiting so long to see you.
Well, you can still come with us if you want to. I'm just, you should know the truth.
You haven't been the same since you turned into a tower. We've been on many adventures, but I've been so lonely.
Well,
Yes, I get to live inside you, but
in your timeline, that's all true. But in my timeline, I never became a tower, and you died gloriously in a horrible battle.
what?
Yeah. You were changed, though. You don't want to know the details of how things went for you. It was bad.
I'm just glad you're here. And then she tries to escape from the hands. Let go of me.
Then, okay, I'll let you go, but are you going to come with us? Because you can go. You can come with.
Where are we going?
Back to Tiet Kala. We're going back. Back home.
I don't think Pod should go.
Why?
Well, you're going back in a dangerous zone.
Yeah. She can hold her
Yeah,
own.
and I can hold my own.
She can totally hold her own. She always did.
Fine. But it'll be dangerous, Pod.
I don't care. I can do it. Nash is back.
That's right, baby. I am back. Let's do this.
I have to come back. I have a family to raise.
Whoa, wait a minute.
You can meet them when you come back. Where are we going? Stanley! And Pod flies over and gives you a hug and your cheek a hug and begins kissing your face. It's so good to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you too, Pod. Thank you.
And then he looks over and says, Varel! And flies over to Varel and then tries to hug your cheek and give you kisses on your cheek.
I allow this.
And
But
then
meanwhile, I turn.
she flies around very just very energetic, very enthusiastic, filled with love and happiness. And she spins around and floats in front of Squirts' face and goes,
What is this?
Squirts will give a side glance to Nash and kind of lick her lips a little.
It's a
Don't,
kobold!
And slowly open her mouth
wait, whoa, hold
and
on.
lean it toward Pod.
This is bad. Don't eat
as
him.
you open your mouth, Pod sort of looks inside because she thinks you're showing her something. So she tries to look in.
Is this how it communicates?
No, she's trying to. She thinks you're food.
Oh!
Split up.
Pod flies up.
It's all right. She means
You
no.
gotta warn me about these things, man.
I tried. She doesn't mean harm. She's just hungry. And you
Squirts
look
will
like
slowly
food.
close her mouth and lean back.
Just stay out of her face. You'll be fine.
Okay.
And keep inconspicuous. In fact, you may want to be invisible when we get there.
Oh,
Badass
good
TV.
call.
Come here.
Yes.
And I'll lean down close to Badass T, whisper in his
And
ear.
you're in the huddle. He huddles. Are we getting rid of the rest of the people, or can they listen in?
Oh, they can listen in.
All right.
Is there a Diantalis here?
Badass's face gets very still. He says,
Well, there's a Diantalis where we are.
What?
If you're asking me if there's a 2, no,
Yes.
I don't think so.
Okay.
There's a lot
Thank
about the universe I don't know, though.
All right. Thank you.
Maybe he was in that box back there that we got Stanley stuff in. I whispered to Burrell. Maybe he should be careful about that.
Your previous energy for leaving, Nash. Refined it.
Ouch.
Oh man.
No, it's a good
Badass T
point.
looks at
It's a good point. Let's go. We gotta go. Let's go.
All right, just a second. Just look, guys. You guys are going to be very happy to be back home, but Tower and Ash filled me in on what you're doing. Use this teleportation circle to get to the teat. Save Angelashi and your friends, and then bring them back here. It's not safe on Earth. And I'm going to need you guys back. I can't save Hope alone. And if you haven't already figured it out,
he takes off his mask and pulls his face, and you see that he has no lips, and it's all burnt around his mouth, so you can just see jaw and gums. He's just like this. He has no lips, nothing covering his teeth. He looks disgusting, but it's unmistakable. This is Tedna. I'm gonna
Tedna.
need your help to get her back. We're
Tedna.
the only ones in the universe who truly care about her. And if you care about her like I care about her, you'll come back here and help me save her. And as he speaks, there's a whole bunch of spittle forms around his mouth because he can't control his saliva.
Oh,
So there's drool coming down.
that's foul. All right, I have more questions now than I came with.
Once you rescue Angelashi, we'll have time for rest and answers.
Are you going with us or staying here?
I'm staying here. If you fail, I still need to live to save Hope. And he reaches into his pocket again, Stanley, and he hands you a parchment. It's like loose leaf paper, old and yellow. It's
All right.
folded.
Take a look at it.
Fold it open, and you see the teleportation circle code for this teleportation circle. You can do that kind of stuff, right, Stanley?
Nash is the one who can do the teleporting, but it's been a bit of a day. We've seen a lot of action. Nash, are you going to be able to cast this twice?
Only that. Twice and only twice. So we got to make it stick.
All right, I pass the piece of paper over to him.
Okay, so you can. I don't know how you're managing this, but for your teleportation circle, if you're keeping a list of all the codes, the glyphs and runes, the pattern that you have to know as part of the spell. I believe you know the ones for Tietkala. There was another location, wasn't there?
Yeah. Hold on.
The spell comes with like 2, I think. So
There was one in the White Tower.
the White Tower.
Did you get the code for it?
I don't
Yes.
think so.
Yeah, we
Did we?
did. He spent
Okay.
time because remember that's what we did right before we went and had the fight outside the White Tower.
That's
That
right.
was him learning it.
So make sure you're noting that stuff down. I don't keep good
So
track
that means
of
we know 3
things.
total then. So White Tower, Teat, and then
And
this tower.
Planet Nash.
Planet Nash.
Nash's Nads. Make it a thing, everyone.
Yeah, make it a
Nash's
thing.
Nad. Hey, we got a new name for our Patreon people. Instead of pod persons, we can go Nash's Nad.
Yeah,
Naddies? Naddies.
Planet Nads. That's what we'll call them.
Natties.
Planet Nad.
All right, so Planet Nads, the Teat, and the White Tower. I think that's the 3, unless I'm forgetting one.
There might have been another one, but maybe you didn't discover it, and that's why I'm thinking of it.
And we're only going to know the Teat because we're getting it now.
Oh yeah, I think that's it. There wasn't any you found in Sigil.
No,
but
there weren't any there.
They
Okay.
do exist there. But I think with teleportation circle, you can't traverse planes actually, so you have to stay on the same plane of existence to use them.
Right. Is
But-
this the same plane of existence as the Teat? Our Teat?
You're not sure.
Oh, shit.
Maybe you can ask an NPC.
Let's just hope this is like in this timeline, Angela, she's close enough. She might have a
Also,
third eye.
Nash, do you have everything you need to cast that spell?
I'm looking now.
Table talk version, I think it requires chalk of a
Yeah,
special nature.
we need rare
which I
chalks and
don't
inks
think
infused
we
with precious gems worth 50 gold each. I thought I bought some sets of this in Sigil.
Do the material have a gold cost?
Yeah, 50.
Yeah. I don't remember. Did you write them in your inventory?
I'm looking now because I don't remember either. It's been a while.
I thought you got the spell after we would have. I thought you got it at the tower, so I didn't think you would have had time to buy it, but I could be wrong.
I don't remember. Okay, it looks like
They might have all gotten burnt up in the teleport incident.
Yeah. I'm checking my extras. I 2 scrolls from Stanley, a handful of veggie peelings, and and an umbrella dong. I still have that, but
I don't remember where the peelings come from.
From dinner we made, I think the stew there in the White Tower.
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah. So
But
I still
either
have
way,
that.
I love the image that he pulls it out of his pocket and goes, not that, and puts it back in.
So yeah, I don't currently have that stuff. I'm gonna have to ask Zippy here, or sorry, Tedna the second or whatever, alternate Tedna, where I can acquire these things.
What is it you need exactly?
All right, listen up. For me to use this spell, and I assume since you have a thing here,
Yes.
you've had to do this before, so I'm really hoping you got what I need. Here's what I need. I need some rare chalks and inks infused with precious gems worth 50 gold.
Nope, you need it worth 100.
It says 50.
Well, you're going to be casting it twice.
Oh shit! I need 100 worth.
It's so
Stanley's
nice
right.
to have you guys back.
Back. Your lips are a problem, dude. We got to get you some better lips. Some magic lips, maybe. After all this.
Self-consciously, Tedna puts his mask back on.
No, it's fine. We all have our problems. I have no wiener. You have no lips. That's
You
actually
are the last person to be casting stones now.
no wiener, no lips. Perfect combo. Don't worry about it.
Look, if you need something that you think Nash might have picked up, it could be in the junk room. I think I saw something like that. And let me go get it.
Okay, go see if you can find 2 sets, please. At least.
Come with me. You'll get it small places.
All right, I'm coming. So I'll go with you.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. You follow Badass T down. Even though he asked for Pod.
Oh, you
But
asked
is
for
on
Pod.
the
I
shoulder.
thought you asked for me. Sorry, Pod can go. Pod, go.
Oh, you changed your mind?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back, Nash. Don't leave without me.
All right, well,
And she flies out after Badass T. You guys are alone for the first time since you've got here.
Varel, what do you make of all this?
This junk?
Everything. I feel like everything's turned upside down. I don't know what we're doing. I know we need to go back to save her, but is she mine? Is this our teat? Is this somewhere else? Are we entering a whole nother plane of existence? And do you care? Maybe you just want to fight whatever's over there. I don't know. Maybe you don't care.
We must adjust our goals. We were attempting to save the wastes. Now it seems, according to Tower Nash, that the galaxy is in trouble?
I mean, as best I can tell, yes. But I don't know. I don't know if I trust him. He's had a different experience than I have. Somehow he's a wall now. He's a statue in a tower. He's a face. He's just a relief. He's not anything more than that. He just sits there all day. That's not how I live. Our goals
are still needed.
Well, yes, but our goals are different. Our lives are different. I'm still not sure how that's Pod. You saw.
When we eat the fly.
We'll find flies for you, I promise, but you can't eat that one. You can't
Why?
eat because she's a friend. You can't eat a friend. We'll find other flies. I promise.
We shall see.
Have some vegetable peelings, and I'll throw a few of them at her.
She starts to collect them off the floor, and she feeds them to Chunks.
Okay.
Thank you, Nash.
You're welcome. There's more of that where I came from. Later, if you're nice and don't eat the fly. So anyway, I don't know.
Deal.
I don't know. It just all feels pretty weird. And Varel, I would feel bad if we if this all goes wrong, and it goes wrong because I'm just following my dumb heart around.
What did you see at Tiakala?
I saw Angie pregnant, fighting off. What were they called, Bo?
Nikoloth.
Nikoloth, like we've seen before. Just her and your old pal Bok Bok. Which I guess is a surprise in itself. Well, what did we leave him to do? I don't remember.
To make breakfast.
Oh, right. He's running the place while you're gone, so one would assume things have gone bad there, and now they're working together to... I mean, what I saw is they were working together to fight this thing and then get away, and then that's all I saw. And she didn't answer me, so whatever this magic is, my new eye thing, I can't communicate with others on the other side of the vision. But it looked real in every way, and according to Tower Nash, he thinks this is, I mean, he says it's real. I'm just saying, I don't know. I feel like I don't know for sure. I don't know anything.
If there's one thing I've learned in the streets of Sigil, reality is what we make it. And it seems that Tiakala has fallen. This is a rescue mission.
So what if we got her out and brought her back, like they say?
And we stage whatever defense we can here.
Okay. It means a lot to know you're backing me in this way. Stanley, I mean, we've had our differences, but I can't just let her die.
No, of course not. I'm not going to suggest she die. Our goal was to get home. This is a path home. If it is indeed under attack and we can do something about that, we should.
All right. Dumbass, how long is this going to take? Or what's his name? Kick-ass. What is it?
Badass.
Your voice echoes throughout the tower, but the distance between the floors is probably very great, and you don't get a response back.
I don't know what takes him so long. We gotta go. We gotta get.
And just with that,
a quick look around. Is there anything else of use amongst the piles here?
well, you're not in the junk room. You're in the teleporter room.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah, so you see that there's a house and a yard and a desk and table, very small and tiny in the corner. There's a light coming out of this small house. The rest of the room is bare. Stealthily or with aplomb?
No, I'll walk up and bend down and have an eye at the window.
Okay. As you do that, you bend over and look and put an eye into the window, and inside you see a pixie just like Pod, but male in its appearance, you think. And there are a few smaller children pixies, and they're sitting on a couch while the older male pixie appears to be reading a book to the younger pixie children. As you're peering in and taking a look, your eye in the window, one of the pixie children grabs the sleeve of the other pixie child and tugs on it and points at your eye. And then the child looks, and two of the children are just looking at you, and they're...
At whose eye? My eye?
No, Varel is looking
Varel's
in the
eye.
window with his eye.
Okay.
You're not involved in this at all. And they're both sort of looking at you and have noticed you and are frozen in place.
It's like Jurassic Park.
They best brace the ceiling. All right. I'll stand up and turn back to the group.
Okay, and you hear the pitter-patter of feet as they walk towards the window, and you don't look at them, so you don't know what's happening.
This is a place of peace. Those we thought dead have made lives here.
Stanley takes out diplomacy, parlay, and sees if it moves.
It functions as you would expect if you describe it.
Yeah, it just lifts gently out of his hand and hovers in front of his face. And then he gives a little gesture and it flies into its sheath on his belt.
Works like you remember it. No tricks.
We've recovered a lot by being here. People, things. But there's something disturbing about it, too. There's something... I hold these things, and I know that at one point they belonged to me. But... not to me. This is... I think the possessions of somebody else. Another me. Like the Nash that's this tower. It's a tower of peace, but it is also built on the foundation of our failures. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't have an airport, spaceport named after me. You wouldn't have a sandfish cookery. What is it? Stanley looks at the map.
Sandfish cookery.
A sandburger factory named after you.
Very noble.
All right, and you start to hear the flapping of wings coming from the door. Do you guys want to continue this longer, or do you want to move on to the next thing?
I want to get my chalk and draw the thing.
All right, so you hear the flapping of wings, and in comes Pod, bearing two. It's chalk encrusted with gems.
It says here infused. Hold on.
I'm just trying to just don't know what to call it. Gem chalk.
It is rare chalks and inks infused with precious gems.
Oh, okay. So it's like they're ground up of gems. That's how you make this chalk and ink.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So she comes in with an ink bottle, a quill, and at another hand she has like books, like, you know, in here's like 3 pieces of chalk. Is like really big logs of chalk in her arms.
Okay.
She flies in. She goes, "Nash, I've got your supplies." She flies
perfect.
in. She's like, "Here you go."
Oh, thanks. I knew I could count on you, and I'll pat her on the back with my baby hand and take the chalk out of her grasp.
Badass T stumbles into the room, having run up the stairs. He's like,
Thanks, No Lip Tedna. We appreciate it. Okay.
It's badass.
Sorry, badass.
That name's dead.
Sorry.
Don't call me by my dead name.
All right. Badass.
When I joined the Toyota host, I gave up my old life.
Is that where you gave up your lips? Or is that a different deal?
Suckmaster Din ripped them from my face.
Oh,
when he found out
that's
I was
horrendous.
working for you.
Oh, never mind. Bad. Shouldn't have brought that up. All right, give me the chalk.
No, it's okay that you did.
Oh.
I spent a decade with the Toyota host, learning their ways, and if we came back, and if we gave the Suckmaster what for.
and he seems to just get really violent and dark.
Yeah, it
You
didn't
still
go
love
that
Hope?
way for us.
You said things at the same time. I couldn't understand all of them.
Badass T. Tedna. Do you still love Hope?
Don't ask me that.
But I did.
Then you know the answer.
Then say it true.
I love hope. And without hope, I have nothing to live for.
Then you must see that you live. And I'll walk over to him and, rounding behind him, whip off the belt with Fox and Scully on it and put it on Tedna.
I can't.
You can. They'll be better used to you than me.
He slowly considers it, and he takes out the guns, and he puts the 2 guns into his hand. He kind of holds them, and he sets them down on the ground. He takes the belt, he puts the belt on, then picks up the guns, and he tries spinning them, but his coordination's really bad, and it doesn't look good at all. He's just kind of flipping them around, and he puts them in and pats them.
All right, for real. I'm ready.
You should practice with them first.
I'll go down to the gymnasium.
Good. Nash, leave the pixie.
Leave?
Leave
Wait, what?
Pod behind.
I don't know, Varel.
We're planning on coming back, and last time she was there, it didn't exactly go well for her.
That's a good point. All right, look, we are coming back, Pod, so just stay here.
No, we have to go help.
No, I know, but
You need my help.
We'll be okay. We'll be okay. They're right. I don't want to put you in any more danger. 2 pods would not be worth it. Losing 2 pods. I know there's infinite pods, but you're the only 2 I've known, so you're staying here.
Your words are like physical punches to her. You can see it as you say these things. She flies towards your face, and she grabs onto the side of your face, and she goes, I can't lose you again. I'm doing the badass teeth thing. I can't lose you again. I forget who has lips and who doesn't have lips, and I'm always doing the wrong character without lips.
No, you can. This is for your good. You'll survive. I need you to be safe, so when we come back, then we can be companions forever after that. But you just wait here until we take care of this.
You promise you're going to come back?
I'll come back. And in the meantime, there's a giant Nash face downstairs to keep you company.
You promise to come back, because I want you to meet Roger.
And
Roger? And my children.
Do the children have names? What are their names?
Scott, leave me alone. I'll tell you when you come back. That'll give you reason to come back. I know it'll bother you.
All right, I promise then. You stay with Roger and the children. I'm going, but we'll be back. You have my word.
All right. And she gives your face one last hug and one last kiss. And she flies off in the direction of her home and stops for a second, looks back at you wistfully, floating backwards, and then turns around and heads back into her house.
Okay. All right.
I think you made the right call, Nash.
Thanks.
Says badass D.
I appreciate that. All right. You stay here, badass. You stay here and keep an upper lip. Oh, sorry. That's a terrible thing to say. Keep a stip up. Nope, that doesn't work either. All right. I'm going to start with the chalk, and I'll go to the floor and start making the thing, doing the stuff
All right.
I'm supposed to do.
All right. You begin writing the glyphs in chalk and the circles all along the floor. What does it look like?
Takes 1 minute, and it looks like a big, kind of crisscrossy, pentagrammy almost kind of looking thing, with it's not very discernible, but each corner of the pentagram has what looks like little smiley faces. That's just a little thing I add to it because I'm Nash and I like to do dumb stuff. All right, so then that's it. It's ready. It's there. Took me a full minute, but holy cows, it looked like a place we could teleport from.
All right. So what do you have to do to make the spell work?
Let's see here. Create a permanent teleportation circle, casting the spell in the same location for the day when you. All right, so now this is a permanent place. I'm trying to see if there's anything specific I have to do.
So it says a shimmering portal opens within the circle you drew and remains
Yeah.
open until the end of your next turn. So there's also verbal components. So you've done the material thing, but I haven't heard many magic words.
All right, here's the magic words. You ready? I may be but a simple mortal, but as you can see, I done made a portal.
And a large half sphere of blue crystalline reflecty surface kind of appears.
Yeah.
And then it darkens a bit and you see brick, kind of like a brick wall through it, but it's like looking through water.
Okay.
We got 6 seconds, so
Get
through
in.
the portal.
We have 6 seconds.
All right.
One Mississippi, and I'll start counting, and let's get everybody in there.
Well, we don't have to actually literally do 6 seconds. Is everyone going in?
Yeah, we're all going in.
Perfect.
Yep.
You run through. Everyone sort of picks up their pace, makes their way, and within an instant, you walk out on the other side of the sphere. Even though you were walking in a sphere, you're now walking out of a sphere. It's a weird sensation, and you're in Nobieri's study, deep beneath the teat. And as everyone gets through, you turn around, have a last look at seeing Badass T through the portal, and the portal goes and closes. You're in, it's pitch black. There's no illumination, so you can't see anything. So you can just kind of make out walls with your dark vision. You can see that those with dark vision, there's the pedestal where the rituals would be performed, like that altar place, and then there's a circle beneath your ground. There's a few bodies on the ground. And you hear and this sort of, you hear this like rubbing of cloth against cloth and shuffling. Boom.
All right, the zombie.
Wait, was they?
Boom.
I don't remember him.
Carnage, where's your master?
You hear footsteps getting closer through the darkness. Stanley and I believe Squirts, you have dark vision as well.
Yes, but
You see
Squirts
the-
is on the ground reaching around, and she finds a thing of pebbles, and she casts light.
Okay, you cast light, and it illuminates the room with your pebbles, and so you see that you're in. For you, it's your first time being in this room, so you just see a big brick room with 2 doors on either side, an altar and a raised platform where someone would deliver a speech from, the teleportation circle, and a zombie with a massive hole in its head, still getting up and walking, looks very damaged. And he says, boom. For the rest of you, you guys notice the tattooed numbers all over his head of the number 26. And I'm sure you remember 26 Carnage. Or not 26 Carnage, 42 Carnage, or 52 Carnage, whatever number it was.
It's 357 Carnage.
I think it was 42. I don't remember.
He started at 42. The gang name was 26 Block.
Yeah.
It made it easy to remember names, huh?
Yeah.
And then it was 42 Carnage, but with each person he killed, he was 43, 44 Carnage. He changed his name every time he got a kill.
Oh, right. So we don't know what he was at in the end, do we?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Hope dealt with him before you guys left for Razak Val.
Nash, do you remember where you saw Angelashi?
It was in an alley. I know that doesn't give us much. There's lots of alleys up there, but that she's somewhere in town. I might recognize it if I saw it. And Bo,
I don't know if you're going to tell the party this, but at the end of the vision, I did mention you felt that she was running towards the Golden Sands.
Oh, I did? Or you did? I don't remember you saying
You didn't see it, but you felt it. I did say it, but you might have missed it.
All right.
It's okay.
I will tell him that. I'll say I'm 95% sure she was running toward the Golden Sands. From what direction, I don't know if I could say without seeing the street, but we could probably get there and fan out a little bit. Did I see the Golden Sands?
Sense. We need to move cautiously. I'm not in a state where I'm going to be able to put up much of a fight. I mean, we've already had to deal with spaceships and pirates and badass tea and all sorts of manner of things today. It's been a day. Let's find her, get her, and get out.
Do we have a way to scale the Froghemoth pit?
It's covered over now, isn't it?
Is it?
Isn't it Tedna Park now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, I can switch the map actually in Roll20. You'll now have access. This map will now be of use. once again.
I
Because
have a shocking amount of information saved in my brain about this campaign, and honestly, it concerns me.
Okay, so now we're back to the Tiet Kaleen map, and that's exactly right. Tedna's Playground is no longer a Froghemoth pit. It was filled in.
It's called Tedna's. Oh, there it is.
Tedna's Playground.
So we need to get back. What was the primary
So-
exit when we
Yeah,
left this?
So there was a way out. There was a dumbwaiter basically for bodies that was secret that led up to like the not prison, but whatever the prison place, the brig of the castle. There's another way through the crypts that took you to a stairwell up to the main floor, and that was through a secret passage.
Was there resistance in there? Like,
No, through the crypts below is where you fought Kefeli, the Medusa.
right.
If you went lower than the crypts, that's where the Gem of Tides was stored. If you go up the dumbwaiter, you'll hit the brig and then like the supply storage, and that also leads stairs up to the main floor of the keep. So there's 2 avenues out that way. From your memory, the underground passage that would breach the castle has been filled in as it's not secure. It used to be Nobieri's kind of in monsoon cabbages. Some of the nobles knew it as a way in and out of the castle secretly, right?
Right. But
In
now
ancient
that's
times.
out there. They've closed it up.
Yeah. Well, and then the Guzzle Gang turned it into the Froghemoth pit and for their entertainments, and then Hope during her reign filled it in.
All right. How big's the dumbwaiter? Can we get Varel in that?
Yeah, it's not. I'm just calling it a dumbwaiter. It's like a passage where bodies are lowered. So
Okay.
that basically where Nobieri was getting bodies for his experiments. They go through into a secret passage in a broom closet and get lowered down into his study area. Remember, there's also the library room that you guys exploded and all the books attacked you, and
Oh, right.
he's
yeah.
got his room there. This is all part of that area.
Either way, it puts us up on the main floor. So as long as we avoid the throne room is my thought,
Yeah.
because we just need to get outside, but we don't know who's in charge.
And Bo, is there any way for us to intuit or know if this is even our timeline? Like if this is our teeth?
Probably it's not going to be very helpful or fruitful to worry about timelines right now, or in
Okay.
general.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just as a player shortcut between us, like, for all intents and purposes, everything feels as real as your own timeline.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that as like a DM being facetious. Aha, you didn't notice the ripple in space time. I wouldn't. Don't spend a lot of time worrying about that.
Okay.
Just to make our game a little easier.
I mean, it could be
Not trying to break anyone's brain, Inception style, I guess is what I'm trying to tell you.
I just watch devs and I'm all messed up with that stuff now.
Yeah. So I'm not intending. I'm intending for this to be like a fun adventure, and yes, it involves all this time bar stuff, but I'm not intending to, Doctor Strange it or anything like that.
Okay.
For now, anyways. If that changes, I'll let you know.
Let's say it's the same in every way except the people here eat with their buttholes instead of their mouths. That's the only difference.
No. It's not
No?
the difference.
Okay.
Nice try.
All right. Well, then let's take the dumbwaiter. I'll tell them. Let's take that route and get out
I
of
should
here.
never call it a dumbwaiter.
Or whatever. But let's get out of here on that body shaft thing. Deal. Elevator unit.
It's as
Sounds
good,
good.
as any other. Let's go.
All right. You make your way to the door, and the door just slides ajar. You remember this being a locked door for a time, but it just seems to not have its lock. You open it up and look in the hallway, left to right. You know that the secret passage, that there's a switch in the brick wall on the other side to get into the crypt if you wanted to go that way, but you take a right and you move down the hallway to again another room with a door that's not locked. You open it up very quickly and you see the familiar shaft leading up into darkness, and you see that there's a cage on a series of pulleys hanging from the ceiling, and the cage is on the ground floor where you can get in or whatever.
All right, let's load it up.
Is-
We'll get in.
Do you want to get in the cage, or do you want to climb up the chain leading up?
Well, is it functional if we got in it?
You can fly up there, Nash. It's not going to
Like-
be an issue for you.
No, but
Can't
I
answer
can't.
questions like that.
But I can't leave you down here. You know what? Let me go check it out first. Let me do that. I'm gonna float up the shaft. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna see what I can
Okay.
see up there. See if there's anything.
So you float up,
yeah.
and as you make your way up, you notice that the air conditioning is really helping because it's likely pretty hot around, but you feel pretty cool.
Okay.
And you float slowly up the top of the shaft, but you don't have a light with you, so it gets dark really fast and you can't see anything.
Well, wait. I have something now for this.
Do you have dark vision?
Hold on. I can't remember what I did. I still have light, but that's not the same.
I mean, you could cast light.
Yeah, I will.
Squirts has a bunch of pebbles.
I was thinking I had something else new, but I guess I didn't do it. Okay. Yeah, I'll use. I have light, so I will touch a stone or something and give me some light going.
Okay. Do you have a stone on your inventory?
No, but I'll light. You know what I'll do? I'll light up
There's
one
no
of these.
stones floating in the air around you, so you're not able to do it.
No, I'll pull out a vegetable peeling and light it.
And these vegetable
Mock me,
peelings.
they did.
I'm gonna
I was
do
gonna
it.
say these vegetable peelings are getting a lot of mileage out of them. Who knew?
Yeah.
You picked them up, and now they're like the main item of
You
this
guys
episode.
wondered why I cared about him. Now you understand. Now it makes sense.
All right, you light up a vegetable peeling, and it produces a faint light, not as good as a rock, but enough to have a yellow, sickly glow over everything.
Okay.
And you see a little bit higher up that there's a conveyor belt. You know, like at a grocery store, those round metally things
Yeah.
that you roll the grocery carts over top of.
Yeah.
Like when they roll them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, there's these rolling pins. And you imagine it's to roll the corpse into the cage or something like that.
Okay.
And you remember this because you've climbed this way before, that you have to crawl through the rolly cage the other way to get to the broom closet.
Are there any? Do I see or hear anything that would give us pause and make us nervous about an attack or creatures or anything?
You hear very, very faintly, almost reverberating through the ground, unless that you hear the sound. Just the sounds, just general sounds. Just It's very faint, very, very faint. You're deep below ground.
Okay. Do they feel distant? Those sounds?
They feel distant, yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll float back down and tell them that looks like the coast is clear, and that we should go back up. And they can either climb or however they want to get up there, and I'll still float when I go.
Well, I've climbed up this before. I can probably climb up it again. I'll start climbing.
All right. Athletics. Does acrobatics count for climbing? Yeah, why not? It
Okay.
does. Yeah. Anyone
It's
else
gonna be
climbing up the rope?
15.
All right. You climb up capably.
Squirts will try and climb up Varel's back and hold on to his neck.
Okay. If Pharrell accepts, no need for a roll on this.
Cool. I got a 19.
Okay. That's a 19 for 19 for the climbing, right?
Yep.
So you're both you and Stanley are both able to capably climb up the chains and make your way to the top. And you see that there's a hole, like a square hole, that you can lie down and sort of slide on top of the conveyor belt through this passage. It's not big enough to stand in. You'd have to sort of roll on your belly or back.
Yep. Proceed forward.
Okay, so a little jump is involved. It's a little precarious. So again, your choice of athletics or acrobatics to sort of swing a little bit and grab a hold of the conveyor belt and get on top of it.
I got an 8.
Okay,
16.
All right. So, Stanley, you climbed up first, the way we sort of spoke about it. You go to jump on, but your grip slips surprisingly. It doesn't happen very often. And because the wheels are really spinny, you sort of roll to the end and grab onto one of the pins. And you're hanging on by your hand, hanging over the chute, the last rung, the last rolling pin of the conveyor pins.
I will float over there as fast as I can and offer a hand, my good hand, less dirty hand.
All right, I'll take it.
All right. So why don't you go ahead and make this time an athletics check to pull your body up, and with Nash's help, you get advantage.
A 12.
Okay. Takes some effort. Nash, you're shocked at how hard this is, considering Stanley is usually quite adept, but you guys make it up and push him on top of the rolling pin, and you start rolling immediately, Stanley, face first, all the way down this little shaft, and then into the broom closet. You go crashing. Now, before this happens, you can see it coming, so if you want to move into this room with stealth or any other kind of activity, you need to let me know now.
Yeah, I've been in here before. I know to expect a broom closet, so
Yeah.
I would try to get control before I pass through the false wall and be ready to catch myself coming in.
So sleight of hand or acrobatics.
Let's see. What a bad roll, but I got a 10 from it.
Okay, so you move through the the conveyor belt, and you mostly think you make it through with grace, but part of your cloak snags a broom, and the broom falls to the floor and goes. Nothing happens after a moment going, shit. But nothing happens. Varel. You can, with Stanley now through the passage, you or Nash can make their way through.
Cool. I got a 16 on that.
All right. So with your long legs and long arms, you manage to grab on and pull yourself in and float across the pins very easily. Do you approach entering this room with stealth or just without any guile?
Yeah, I'll do a stealthy 15.
Okay, so you roll in, and you make you have a heavy frame, and so when you land, there is a heaviness to it and a sound, but for the most part, it's quiet, and you seem to have made it safely. With Squirts on your back, so Squirts, you've made it through this passageway as well, and you're right there with them. Nash, you're last to move through this area.
I'll just float there and not jump like
Well, can you float? I guess you can float horizontally, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you're not going to touch any of the rolling pins and just float through?
Yep, just going to float through.
Just laying down, just
Hover through, kind of enjoying
No need
myself.
for a roll. That worked.
Okay.
There's enough room for you just to float horizontally through this passage and not touch. I mean, part of your robe touches some of the rolling pins and it rolls a little bit, but you're not trying to be that stealthy. You didn't declare a stealth. So
No.
you move through pretty quietly and float into the room. They just watch you float in horizontally like a poo coming out of the wall. just like
All right.
then you're floating horizontally in the room while they're all ducking on the ground.
All right. I'll go, all right, we're here. And I'll get myself in a position of not floating.
Okay.
all right. I will try and stealthily open up the door and take a look around.
All right, stealth roll, please.
I'm gonna actually start physically rolling. Seeing as
And this is a
D&D
group
monsters
stealth check.
betraying me.
This is a group stealth check, please.
Is it?
Yeah, it's everyone.
All right.
Let me make sure. Is it 8 for the stealth? No, it's only 6. That's a 20, not natural. First thing.
Thank you,
That's-
Stanley.
That's a 9 for
Mhm.
me.
12.
26 natural.
All right, Varel is standing stock still. You can hear faint sounds coming from Squirts, like just face sounds and mouth sounds, like not intentional sounds, just stuff like that. Nash, you kick over a pail of nails. You don't know how you did it. It's a small pail, but it makes a loud metallic sound. And in response to this sound, you actually hear another thud of like something against a wall echoing down the hallway. Stanley, you peer around to look. You look left and right. And you see the prison, and remember the prison guard room where you guys got those guards really high. Yeah, that's there. And then you look around. You see the battle where Pod died. That's the room at the battle where Pod died on the left, and Jolt and all of that. And that's over there. You don't see any shadows or anything, but if you want to look harder, we'll need a perception roll in addition to your stealth.
Yeah,
but it's just you. Yeah,
I'll do a perception check. That's going to be a 20. Nope, that's going to be a 16.
Okay, so you hone in your senses to try and detect what the common person can't detect. And as you hone into the various frequencies of sound, you hear this. Sounds like hurried steps running somewhere.
Away or closer?
Feels like it's getting closer.
Okay, I'll whisper back. Something's coming.
Shit. Okay, I have an idea. Can we tell how far it is? How close this person who's running toward us?
You can't hear anything. There's only Stanley can hear it. He tells you heard something.
I want to cast an illusion. But I'll wait till they're here. All right, I'll do nothing yet.
We can't fight in a closet.
No, it's not a fight. We just create an illusion, a sound illusion behind him, and he'll go, "Oh, it was over here," and he won't think it's us and won't look in the closet.
What it is, Nash. Why don't you stay in the closet? Vorel and I'll go take a look. You can kick another pan of nails.
All right.
Stanley's go out of the closet and go. Because if I remember right, it's weird that I remember this. The hallway to the left goes for a bit and then turns right.
Up the stairs. Yeah. So it turns to the right. Remember, there's all those alcohol barrels that you guys fought in?
Yeah.
And then at the end, there's a stairwell upstairs.
Oh, okay. So this
and it turns right.
The room where we fought.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I know what you're saying. There is a small antechamber. I remember the map. You can't see where the barrels are. Remember, there's this little L-shaped snake thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like you turn left and then you turn right and then left back. Yeah, you're right about that. So you can hear sounds, but you can't see far down where the barrels are or anything like that. You can see the prison area, though.
All right. I'm going to move to the end of the hallway where it turns and wait. And basically just wait in anticipation for something to come running by, maybe.
Okay. Weapons out or no?
Hand on weapon. But actually, no. Ready to grab if something goes by.
Okay. All right.
Wait before you go. And Squirts will touch your foot, and that will give you advantage on stealth checks for 1 hour.
Ooh. Okay.
Nice.
Stealth run down the hall.
Okay. We're going to say that was very quietly said, so no breaking of the current stealth status. All right. And you preserve your stealth roll, walking very lightly up to the corner and look down the hallway. Are you trying again to perceive from this vantage?
Yeah, I'll peek around the corner.
Yeah,
See if
another perception roll, please.
Okay, that's a lot better. That's going to be a 29.
All right. Let's have everyone else.
That's going to be a 30.
Let's have everyone else with their headphones off for just 2 minutes. Won't be long. Yep. I assume Kristen's headphones are off too. Not that it's the biggest deal. All right. So you can actually hear the steps. You hear scraping of a foot. And then you hear crying. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Be strong. Be strong. You hear someone sort of talking to themselves, like, and crying. All right, headphones back on, everyone.
I don't know if the Fergs
Headphones. Headphones.
The Fergs
No.
may not have heard you.
They've disappeared.
They're not there.
There's like they have this magic where they swap cameras and somehow the spell failed and now they're rolling on the chaos
they're
magic
back.
table.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Everyone's back.
All right. So I will. Doesn't seem hostile. So I'm going to continue to try to be stealthy, but proceed forward. Before I go, I don't know if they're going to see it or not, but I'll give a gesture of like, move up, but carefully, and push forward more.
Okay. I'm going to preserve your stealth rolls from the group check. There won't be any more negative consequences for the low rolls until you move past the area Stanley's standing. And Stanley moves ahead. So he invites the three of you to stand where he was standing, looking down this hallway. But there's not much to see down the hallway, and you move up to the next corner, right, Stanley?
Yeah.
And you're going to look down that one now, right?
Yep.
And that one, so let me get, you're going to roll a new stealth roll. Don't forget your advantage.
Okay. I've got
Right.
advantage, so I feel emboldened to actually use the D&D Beyond one, which has been bad all day. Oh, 27.
All right. Okay. You quietly move to the next corner without making a single sound, and you peer around the corner, and you see with your dark vision, because there's no illumination apart from the lights, which is starting to spill in. So it's not noticeable yet, but if Squirts and Nash move up with their light sources any further, they will get noticed. You look around the corner and you see the outline of a tiefling. Appears to be wearing some kind of leather armor. Doesn't look like the full regalia of the Order of Poxus, but wearing some armor, has a sword out in his hands, but in one hand, and with the other hand he has a head up here, and he's clearly crying uncontrollably, but trying to stay quiet. You don't know, you can't make out who it is.
Okay. I forgot I took this. Okay, I'm going to... I take out my megaphone. I don't turn it on. I channel my energy into it, and I point my finger towards him, and I'm going to cast message.
Okay.
And
Can you tell me how? Oh, go ahead.
whisper a message into the back of the megaphone. No sound comes out. It's not powered at the moment, but it channels
I
the spell.
understand. I understand
Yeah.
you're speaking to it like it's a magical
Yeah,
telephone.
using my focus.
It's awesome.
'cause,
Very cool. Very cool.
So it allows me to whisper a message that the target and only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only I can hear. And I just whisper to him, "Do not be alarmed. This is a friend. When nearby, we can help."
Okay. I'm trying to figure out if someone doesn't know how the magic works, they might not be able to intuit that they can send a response back, which I know you can with message. Just trying to figure out the reaction here to this.
If you whisper back, I will hear you.
Oh, you're gonna include that. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. A moment goes by, and you see the figure kind of look around. Do you hide from the corner to make sure he doesn't see you? You're stealth, so he probably won't see you. But
Right.
do you do anything in anticipation as you see his head move around?
No, I wouldn't hide necessarily.
And you just hear in a mind, "What in the name of Malahaya is happening to me?" Is what you hear back as a whisper in your head.
All right, I will cast the spell again.
It's a cantrip, so you
Yeah.
can.
Send another message. Do I know you? This is Stanley Billings. Are you familiar with me?
The message comes back quickly. "The real Stanley, the hero of the waste? Help us!"
All right, I'll send I'm going to come out. It's fine. Me and my companions are here. And
You get a message back says, "Be very careful. I'm being hunted."
and I'll gesture to the rest of the party and step out and move forward, in a passive gesture.
Okay, so you step out, and does the rest of the party, do you move from your position at all at Stanley's beckoning?
I mean, if he's telling us to go, I'll follow.
Yeah.
I won't be
Alright.
able to really tell what's.
So you begin moving forward quietly. If you want to remain in stealth from this point forward, the remaining 3 of you, or 2 of you, no, all 3 of you have to do stealth checks for me, please.
A 14.
Okay.
18.
All right.
15.
Okay. So you all step out, and the light stones you have with us and light peelings illuminate into the room, and you see the figure Stanley before you go, because he can't whisper back to you magically now because you haven't said anything. He goes, "Turn off the light! Turn off the light!"
Oh, yes, yes. Shh. And Squirts turns off her light.
Nash. I don't trust this.
I don't. I don't.
I don't trust the darkness.
I don't like it. I don't like being in the dark. Is Stanley moving ahead anyway?
He's moved out into the open and walking towards the figure that you can now see. There's a tiefling, but the way the light's working, he's not within the sphere of light, so he's not illuminated. You just see a little outline in the darkness beyond where the light shines.
I will float an inch above the ground and slowly move in Stanley's direction.
Okay, without turning down the light then.
Well, I don't have... Oh, you mean my
Vegetable
peeling?
peeling light, yeah.
Oh, I'll toss that. That's fine.
Okay, so you don't turn it off. So where do you toss it?
Actually, you know what? I don't toss it. I eat it.
I was hoping you were gonna eat it.
All right, you eat it, and as you chew, probably with your mouth open, shafts of light spill forth from your mouth.
Yeah.
It's pretty dry going down. You need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Wait,
please?
no. But that was yesterday's. That was yesterday's dinner, right?
How old
Yeah,
is that
okay.
stuff?
It's been a lot in human time, but in game time, I feel like
It's not rotten yet. Good point. Thank you, Kyle. Good point. It's
Yeah.
been a while, like in real life, but it's not rotten vegetable peeling yet. All
Okay.
right.
It's been the longest
fine.
2 days. Known to man.
That's pretty good. That stuff will keep. 2 days is nothing. That's fresh to me. So, yeah, I'll eat it. I'll eat my light.
Yeah. All right. You eat your light vegetable peeling, and the light eventually disappears, except when you open your mouth, a little light spills out of it.
Okay. I will shut my mouth knowing this.
Uh-oh.
Keep it close.
There's maybe a little light coming out of your nose. As you shut your mouth, you're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, but it's pretty bad lighting anyway. You already told me it was kind of weak.
It's not that there's a lot of lighting. It's just more that, not people's nostrils are usually black.
Yeah.
Yours just are really well illuminated, so you can kind of see the, just a pink sort of yellow glow coming out of your nostrils.
Ugh. All right.
Like they're lit up in there.
I'll live with that.
And, there's like a translucent green booger that's there that everyone notices now because it has a backlight.
Great.
All right, I'm getting distracted with boogers. I forgot. What are we doing?
Stanley's approaching a tiefling.
Yeah, the tiefling, the outline, there's no more light source now, so he gets closer and he says, "Stanley Billings, it's really you, and Pharrell, and Nash Maggard of the Solar Mine. You're here to help us. I knew the heroes of the Waste would return. What are you going to do?"
Well, we're actually here trying to get Nash's wife, Angelashi, out. We need to get to the Golden Sands. What happened here?
Well, I don't rightly know. One moment, I was at my desk. I was lost in the tome written by Carventia. on the nature of raising plants in desert soil, and I had concocted a new idea to take the grain that we grow and use the mana-wave radiation that's everywhere in order to strengthen
What
immune
happened
strength.
here?
Right, I'm telling you, as I was studying, it was a normal afternoon. And then all of a sudden, the sky was filled with these winged beast demons from the abyss have come. They don't want tieflings anywhere in all of creation to have anything of their own. They will not stop until the last one of us are dead. And then the dead echoes through the hall, and he goes, "Oh, I may have doomed us." And he's sort of shaking his sword. He turns around, and he's just puffing himself up his back to you now. One of them knows I'm down here.
All right, we need to get to the Golden Sands. We'll try and keep you safe. Do you want to move with us?
Nowhere is safe. I fight for Queen Hope, and I give my life for the Tiet Kaleen. He's shaking, and he's clearly nervous and not ready to do this, but he's resolved to do it anyways. And then as he says this, you hear a loud, low voice, and he goes, "Where have you gone, puppet? We're not finished playing."
Ugh.
And it echoes all through the room. And then you begin to hear very bassy, very mildly, the sounds of footsteps, heavy footsteps, echoing through the stone above you.
Does it sound
bit
like
of-
one set or multiple sets?
Perception check, please.
A 17.
One set of very heavy footsteps. I've already sunk one of my blades into him. He's going to come down here and get me. We can surprise him.
All right. We set up an ambush.
It must be quiet and quick, or we'll bring them all down here.
How many is all?
Thousands.
Shit. That's bad.
That is a lot.
We're not equipped for thousands.
Then what are you here if you can't save Tiet Kala? Without you, there is no hope. There is one. I saw one among them who was bigger and was yelling at the other ones. Maybe if you killed him, they would flee in cowardice. There is one thing that's true, being of demon descent, that I know. Cowardice comes quick to underlings.
I look at Varel. Varel, I don't know if I'm in a state to fight thousands, let alone something exceptionally powerful.
Table talk wise, what's the time frame right now? From are you spellcasters still spent from the
Mhm.
elevator and the White Tower?
Yep, I
Yeah.
have
Holy
2
moly.
second levels, 1 first level.
Did you guys level? Did we level up the last time? Didn't we give a level up?
We did, but we
No.
never took a rest. Oh, when did we level up? When was the level up?
We're level. Wait.
Oh, wait, no, we haven't done a level up. Last level up was in the White Tower.
Oh,
we're
that's what it
level
was.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm
All right,
thinking
yeah,
of
there's no
John's level up.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong-
Well,
wrong
sorry,
campaign.
folks. It's going to be a tough one.
Okay.
And yeah, maybe I've been a little irresponsible DM wise, but it's just been one of those days. And your characters will have to deal with it being one of those days.
Yeah, I've got a first level, 2 second levels. That's what we have to work with from Stanley.
Brel doesn't, but Kyle regrets making Nash haste him just to run down the street there.
And I
Well-
still have 3 bardic inspirations. Other than that, everything else there is spent as well.
I have all my first and second levels, and
Well, let me encourage everyone to think of this as I think Pharrell was spot on when he said this is a rescue mission. So sounds like you're not in shape to take on a whole army. So let your solutions tend that way.
Plus, Scott, you have to make sure that you save. Wait a minute, you have to save at least 1 5th or 6th level slot because you cast teleportation circle, right?
Now,
yeah, but I can only cast it at 5th, and I have one slot. I have a slot left. So
Well, you can always use a higher slot.
can I use 6th for that?
Yeah, it just isn't going to be. There's no modification.
There's
for
no
casting it at
benefit.
6th,
All right.
but
Well,
you can always use a higher
in that
slot.
case, I have 3 slots potentially then, or sorry, 2 open slots.
Are we dragon exhausted?
You know what, Nash? I think you can trade in slots for slots of other places as a sorcerer.
Can I?
Like you can take a 6th level one and make 6 first level slot spells.
How?
You have a ton of point. What do you mean now? It's your character.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, I don't think
Through the
D&D.
power of reading.
I don't think. What I meant was, I don't think physically D&D Beyond lets me do it. Does it?
Okay, so go to features and traits.
Yeah.
All right, and go. Let's see here. Font of you have 11 sorcery points. You can use your sorcery points to gain additional spell slots or sacrifice spell slots to gain additional sorcery points as a bonus action. So if you sacrifice like a 6th level spell slot, you get 6 sorcery points. And then you could use those sorcery points. I think it's 2. It costs 2. We have to look up the costs.
Oh, you're saying so? It's the other way around. If I sacrifice a spell slot, I gain sorcery points, not the other way around.
Both ways. Or sacrifice spell slots to gain sorcery points.
Well, that's what I just
You
said.
can do both.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Well, wait.
Yeah.
So,
So,
the other.
okay, here's the spells. If you click that feature, Font of Magic,
Yeah.
there's a table here. So to buy the spell slots, it's first level costs 2 sorcery points, second level costs 3, third level costs 5, fourth
I
level
see.
costs 6, fifth level costs 7.
I see.
You can't do it any higher than 5th level.
Right.
Now you can also, converting a spell slot to sorcery points, you can expend a spell slot and gain a number of sorcery points equal to the slot's level. So if you have a 6th level spell slot, you can cash it in for 6 sorcery points. And then you can, at 2 points, you can buy yourself 3 first level spell slots.
Well, right now I have, but that's only if I'm down some spell
Right
slots.
now you have 11, so you could buy yourself 5 first level spell slots or 3 second level spell slots.
Right, but what I'm
Like,
saying is those won't be in addition to the 4 default first level spell slots that I have, right? Because those are
yeah,
open.
they're
right
in
now.
addition.
They're in addition.
Yeah, you buy them back.
So I just
with your
need to
sorcery points.
remember this then.
So you have
because-
11. Now it's a bonus action during combat, so if you have a feeling you're going to need them, it'd probably be better to reorganize yourself now
Yeah.
while you're waiting. And if I'm looking here, how many you have 2 third level slots, so that's 6 you can get. Hang on, but if you go even higher to the 5th level, you can get 5 points out of that. Like you could, depending on what your plan is, you could get a lot of first level spells or second level spells.
All right.
And you know, I don't know how it's useful. Like you know your spells and what you might want to
Well,
do with
so
them.
right,
But you
let me-
have a
let
lot
me
more options.
Let
than
me
think
ask you
do.
this: my second level spell slots right now, all 3 are open. Okay.
Yeah.
You're saying I can cash these points in, and will D&D Beyond say, "Oh, here's your extra slots that you can click"?
Well, no, what you do is you go to your. So if you go to Font of Magic,
I
you can
did.
see there's a plus minus. You have 11, so you just minus the amount 10, and then just buy them back. Just go to your spell slots. You only have a maximum of 4 that you can hold at a time, but go in and just
Oh, well, that's
give
what I'm
them back to
saying.
yourself.
That's what I'm saying. So, okay, I understand.
Yeah, you have an
The,
upper limit. Yeah, but you can buy them. You're basically buying them back.
Okay, well, right now I don't need any of the 1s and 2s. I'm fully open. So
Yeah, I would hold on to it for right now.
Yeah.
And also, Kyle, to answer your question, yes, we're also dragon exhausted because he did that
Yeah.
in the fight with the Tungans.
correct. Tunga,
Okay.
Tunga.
You also have a ring of spell storing.
Right.
I don't
It's
know what
currently
you-
it's currently got 2 spells in it, I believe. Hold on. I can't remember what I put in there.
It won't say. You would have had to have written them down.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
that's
gotta
what I'm
make
looking for.
notes.
I'm looking at my notes. I thought I preloaded Chromatic Orb.
Yeah.
No, I would have spent the slots if I did, so I guess I didn't. Because I wouldn't have
Oh,
open
that's
secondary.
right. Yeah, you didn't
Yeah.
rest since getting it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So there we go.
Cool. Does Squirts have anything that can help us get out of the keep and into town so far as, at least, because there's underground tunnels we can use. So if we can get out of the keep, then we'll be sad.
Should have brought, what we should have done? We should have brought Pod, and then Pod could go fly around and find where her and Bok Bok are, and then tell him to get back here. I should have brought him.
I mean, well, you have options though too. I think. I mean, I have Squirts. Squirts has a lot of spells. Do you have a lot of spell slots left, Squirts? No, not really. But you have some. You have stuff. Oh my God, you have so much stuff. You know a lot of spells. Hope or Squirts.
Mm-hmm. Squirts is a very powerful little critter.
All right.
Anything that helps with this particular sneakery?
Still going through it. Hold on. Chunks is being very hungry right now.
All right. So in the meantime, then, I mean, for Varel-wise, we can't fight every single demon on our way there.
What?
Okay, I've got Pass Without Trace.
Pass without
What-
trace.
What does Pass Without a Trace do?
Okay, sorry to leave you on your toes here. It's a veil of shadows and silence that radiates from Squirts, masking her and her companions from detection. For the duration, which is up to an hour, each creature you choose within 30 feet has a +10 bonus to dexterity stealth checks and can't be tracked except by magical means. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage.
Oh, and is that what you gave to Stanley at first?
No, that was something else. It was like Book
Oh.
of Shadows or something.
Wow. You have a trickster. You have a trickster priest with you who might be kind of ideal for the kind of mission that you're on. Seems like to me.
That would work.
Yeah. When we do that.
All right. So we still need to defeat this demon, though, because it'll be here when we have civilians with us when we come
Right.
back.
Well,
So
But
if
the
we
we deal with-
civilians would be part of the spell too, assuming we can do it under an hour.
Yeah.
Well-
So this is an aura that radiates from you. So if people go too far away from you, they lose it. Right?
right, but if
Correct.
Okay.
It's 30 feet.
it's like your old Assassin's
30
Creed
feet.
games.
That's tight. You can't break that 30 feet. Just saying.
I mean, we'll be crawling, we'll be holding each other. It'll be real tight.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
and also we don't necessarily have to come back.
I also.
Scott can cast that spell anywhere where he can make the magic circle.
That's
we
true.
don't have
We
to go
don't-
back to the magic
That's
circle.
true. We could make another. I mean, it's kind of a waste of a giant spot, but we could do it.
You have to
Okay.
arrive at a magic circle, but you can depart from anywhere.
Yeah. I blame Tedna
Okay.
for that misinformation.
Badass.
All right.
tease.
So
As I think I made it sound like you had to get back to the castle.
I don't know these wizard ways.
Me neither.
That's fine. So then the question is, with that in mind, who's on the list?
I mean, who do we need to take back?
Yes.
Just Angelashi, technically, but if you want to bring Bok Bok with us, we could totally do that.
We're rescuing Bok Bok for sure.
This is what's
What's
great.
the maximum users on your teleportation circle? Is it unlimited?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Run through in 6 seconds, I would think. 'Cause
Okay.
It opens the
Good.
portal for that period.
It's good to know if there isn't a limit on that, because that would also suck to
So
get
there's
there.
a time limit, like John says.
Although,
No.
woe to the person who's halfway through when that 6 seconds
Yeah.
goes by.
Yeah, because you could end
I mean,
up getting
You're not
Doctor
going to
Strange.
do that's not going to happen unless there's some sort of dramatic combat thing that causes something like that. So
Yeah, 1,000, 2, 1,000, all the way up to 6 is pretty
Oh, a
good.
good chunk of time if everybody's booking it.
Yeah, we'll make it.
Oh, it's one round, right? So
yeah.
if
Remember these.
there's a chance that could happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we're saving Angelashi. We're getting Bok Bok. I suggest we save Jimster.
I mean, we don't even know who's necessarily alive. Look, I've got people in this city I would like to see come with us, but is
Who?
it really
Who here do you like?
His mate.
Oh, you're always screwing around with somebody else new anyway. Up at the White Tower, you had the one lady.
Does that mean these people aren't worth saving then?
I'm
Are
just
you guys
saying.
whispering this or starting to yell out loud
No,
at each
we're-
other?
We would.
I'm going to assume this is very whispered right now.
Yeah, it would have to be whispering. All right, but then how are you? You're picking and choosing based on who you've shared a bed with.
I look at the tiefling. How bad is it? How likely are we to find people?
He just shakes his head.
Look, if there are in fact thousands out there, we are not going to have the freedom to go door to door looking for survivors. We get whoever we can on the way, and we get out and we come back when we can put up the kind of fight we need to win.
Nash,
Yeah.
did Tower Nash tell you why the galaxy was in our hands?
No. He told me precious little, and when I pressed him on, what was the thing I asked him, and he got quiet? Oh, I asked him if this was the same. This is the same Tiet Kala that we came from. He wouldn't say.
Well, first we go to the Golden Sands, because that's where anyone we would know would hide out. And we'll see from there.
Yeah. That's the best we can do. If we can't find all 10 of Stanley's concubines, oh well. We'll make it back alive at least with some of them.
Ooh, concubines.
Nash, I'll have you know we're on this mission to save someone close to you, and I'm volunteering giving up people I care about to help you do it.
No, I get it. But I'm just saying, one girl, one Nash. One Stanley, 8 girls everywhere we go. Stanley's sticking his doodle in some new pot and stirring it around.
Oh my. The tiefling turns around and looks at you both glowing. What are you talking about at this time?
All right, fine. It doesn't matter. The important thing is we get my wife, my unborn baby, I say with some emphasis, and Bok, and then whoever else we can get.
The tiefling turns around, looks at you, and he's like, "They just said that was the plan."
I know. I'm agreeing to it. I have some grievances. They'll stay. They'll keep till later. Let's go.
I'll sharpen your grievances against our foe instead of each other.
Yeah.
And then
I
he
like
walks
this
up.
one.
He walks up to the corner, and he starts peering down, and you hear the footsteps now beginning to descend the stairs, and you hear, "Puppet, I smell your fear dripping from your brow."
Let's get into cover.
We
Surprisingly,
go.
comes
We
through.
go now? Oh, we fight.
Yeah, and the shadow begins, like in the darkness, you can just see movement through the darkness, and you hear the footsteps descend down the stairs. Going to imminently be in view, but there are places to hide, and we're not doing a battle map style thing. So there's beer kegs around, there's piles of grain and food supplies all over the place. If you
Yeah,
want to hide or
Stanley-
make plans, now's the time.
Stanley's gonna take cover. Vorel, I can hold him in place when he enters. Jump him.
Squirts is going to cast silence on the area where the fight's going to break out. And for the duration, no sound can be created within or pass through a 20-foot radius sphere. Any
Okay, sorry.
creature or object entirely inside the sphere is immune to thunder damage, and creatures are deafened while entirely inside it.
Okay, and wow, what's it called?
Silence.
So if I have a verbal component for a spell, I would have to be outside of it, right?
Correctly. It could be just a toe, though. It says entirely inside it, so I think it implies that you can be partially in it.
So this spell requires verbal from you. Casting it's going to alert the enemy to your presence, unless you want to say it in hushed tones, in which case you'll need a stealth check.
Okay, cool. I'll roll a stealth check for that then once we're ready. I won't do that quite
Okay,
yet.
so you want to ready till you see it. Oh, and
Yeah.
you can target it somewhere up to 120 feet. Okay, got it. All right.
I'm gonna ready hold person for once it starts to come into the room and we are ready to go.
Does
I will
hold person
cast-
work on the side? You know what these creatures are? Is it okay? Is it a legal target for hold
It
person?
says humanoid. Is it a humanoid?
Let's see here. It is not.
What exactly is a
The
humanoid?
reason why I say that because I believe there's hold monster as well.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay, we won't
So
do that.
humanoid is a classification. So a Nikoloth, well, I can tell you because it's just obvious. He's a fiend,
Okay.
not a humanoid.
Okay, I see. I was thinking of it in a different way. I was
Yeah.
thinking humanoid is in two.
He's bipedal.
Arms, you know. Okay.
Yeah, he's bipedal for sure.
Then I'm not going to do that. I will send diplomacy to hover over the doorway,
Okay.
ready to
Perfect.
drop.
Nash, anything you want to do to hide? Or prepare?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Let me think about this. If this is gonna be worth it or not. Is there anyone here who would benefit from greater invisibility in a fight like this? I mean, you'll break it if you attack, but is there anybody we need to?
No, greater invisibility doesn't break when you attack. It only lasts a minute though.
Well,
but you can attack while invisible.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
okay,
that's the difference between lesser and greater.
But if I did it to myself, that'd be dumb.
No, I mean, I'm sure anyone would benefit from invisibility.
Also,
honestly.
that would be extremely useful for maybe later.
Yeah, in case we mess up or end up outside the zone. That'd be a good catch.
I think your teammates recommending to save spell slots is probably a good idea.
Yeah. Well, I have all 3 of my 4th level, but I get it.
But maybe you can make a vegetable peeling trap.
I'm just gonna hide behind cover at some distance.
Is there a way I could prepare to? Is this the room with the barrels?
Yeah.
Could I prepare to push the barrel onto the creature walking through the door?
Yes.
That's breaking it and soaking it in alcohol?
Yeah, there was one area where they could roll down. So, all right. So you can hide behind one of the barrels and be in position to do that.
I will also hold Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
We'll use a cantrip.
Vicious Mockery. Perfect. All right. So you hear footsteps as they descend the stairs. And then you hear the flapping of wings real quick. And the tiefling looks around the corner, keeps waiting, but the footsteps have stopped, and that flapping of wings has stopped. And the tiefling looks back at you and says, he meows. He meows, where is he? And everyone sits still, waiting and patient in their hiding spot. And the tiefling begins to lose his nerve and composure again. With his sword shaking, he steps out from around the corner to get a better look down the hall, using his dark vision to look down. And he takes another step. And then he steps forward again. Now he's far from his area. And he looks around. Then he whispers to you, Stanley, where something is wrong. Does anyone want to do anything?
No, I'll just
no.
whisper to him, just hold.
Okay, and as he turns back, as he turns around to face this empty hallway, his chest immediately rips open. Let me make an attack roll. All right. Yeah, his chest rips open, and it's almost like he's invisible. This invisible claw impales him right in his stomach and lifts him up into the air. And then, because he's attacked and it's not greater invisibility, the Nikoloth appears. Now, this Nikoloth, as he appears, he's, as you've seen him, green-skinned with horns on his head, big, like animal-like ears, large batting wings, got little like loincloth on, and he's clawed arms and hands and big axe in one hand, and has this tiefling raised up by his belly, and the tiefling goes no and brings his sword down, makes an attack roll as he gets impaled. And misses it, just slides off of his skin, and he goes, ah! And the Nikoloth looks at him and he says, I told you I'd find you. Let's untie your shoes. And he puts down his axe, it just drops his axe like against the wall, and then he reaches his little clawed fingers in and pierces into the skin, and a squirt of blood shoots out from the side of the tiefling. And he takes a little string of his intestine and snaps it so that he can grab one piece and begins pulling out his intestines. And it's big intestines and little intestines, and then a stomach comes out, and then a throat, and then his face like as he's dying in this guy's hand. He just rips out everything and from brain and throat. And the Nikoloth looks at it and sort of in the air is dangling it back and forth. And he goes, looks like I broke you. And then he just channels energy into his hand. And the corpse turns black and charred. And then crumbles into dust like these chunks of like Oreo cookie just all over the place. And then he takes the intestine string and just drops it into his mouth and now, this Nikoloth, as you've had a chance to study and doesn't seem to be aware of your presence, looks like he's battle scarred from an earlier fight. And you begin to notice that there are cut marks on him and half of his wing is clipped. And there appears to be like an axe stuck in his head, rather large one, stuck sort of in here in his neck. And there's a few arrows coming out of one of his calves. So, and they're quite large, but, they're it's maybe 15 feet, the size of a pixie Hulk, which you've also fought down here. It's quite large, but not humongous. And he's just sitting there sort of chewing on this intestine delicacy.
And we were only fighting these like a day ago. You would think we would have remembered these things can stealth. Slipped right by us.
Yeah.
He didn't enter the doorway, did he? He's still in another room now because the
tiefling... No. He's entered the room and walked down the hall. But this all happened so fast because he was invisible. He's in the room. He's snuck in the room without being heard and killed this tiefling. And he's very close to you. You're all in your hiding spots, and he hasn't seen you. He's seen very focused on hunting this particular tiefling.
It shows any sign that he knows we're anywhere near this?
He's judging if he's either extremely confident or oblivious.
Okay.
He's so confident that he didn't acknowledge you. Where you guys are hiding, you can see all of this from your vantage point.
All right.
Okay, so he's in the doorway with the barrel ready to go and the diplomacy above him.
Yeah.
All right, let's rip it then.
All right, initiative rolls.
Jeez.
Come on, initiative. Be awesome.
15.
Oh,
15
it's awesome.
Nash.
24.
24 Stanley.
16.
16 for Varel.
Even with a decent
23.
roll. Oh my gosh, I'm always last.
Squirts.
15 is the low roll. Good lord.
Okay, so you're free to act first in this round of surprise. Stanley, you're up first.
All right, Stanley is gonna step out from behind the barrel
Mm-hmm.
and is just gonna go, lemon tree, motherfucker, and drop the sword right into the top of his head.
Someone feels good about having their sword back. He's like,
It's
I
gonna
don't
be
care if I'm giving Scott work to do.
Yeah.
It's gonna
all
be an
good.
18 to hit.
All right. 18 to hit, and it's a hit. Roll your damage dice.
11 piercing damage from diplomacy going into his head.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know we've done it before, but I always feel guilty because it always feels like cheating. But I will then use heat metal either on diplomacy, or you said he's got other weapons sticking in him. So either way, heat metal on
Whichever you want. No, heat metal on your weapon if you want.
Yeah, let's heat metal on diplomacy.
Does it need line of sight? If you're stabbing him, you might not be able. Oh, but you could probably do it. We could say you did it before, and it went in. You're allowed to pick the order of your movements, right? So
Yeah,
we'll just recon that.
that is 8 fire damage from it glowing super hot
Okay.
once inside him.
Okay. Let's see here. So that's basically okay. Perfect. So you stab him successfully with the heated blade, and it melts his skin and goes right into his shoulder blade, and he reacts immediately, going, "Ugh!" It's anger. It's not pain. It's just all. He drops everything in his hands. He immediately reaches for his axe, and he starts looking around. But before he can do anything effective, Squirts is in position. Oh, wait.
Squirts will-
I'm sorry. Did you finish your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's good.
Go ahead, Squirts.
Squirts will peer around her hiding space and go, "Shh! In dungeon, no one hear you scream!" And then she casts silence centered on the demon.
Okay, perfect. So the zone of silence is now on the demon. Everyone is outside the 20-foot range except for the demon, so they're not impacted by it currently. They're immune to thunder damage and deafened. So
Correct.
that creature is deafened and immune to thunder damage. Okay, perfect. Anything? This is your action for the turn. Anything else?
That would be it.
Okay, perfect. And that brings us to Varel. Next up, seeing his companions act, moves in to take action. What do you do?
Awesome. Am I in the zone of silence?
You are not right now.
Okay. I would like to push the barrel on top of the creature.
All right, athletics
Does it
check,
fall in the
please.
zone of silence.
Well, it's going to be in there, so it'll break in the zone of silence. That'll be great.
That means it's totally quiet crash. That's amazing.
Would this be athletics?
So I need to set a DC for this, so also give me a second, but go ahead and make your roll, but I just won't answer. It's athletics, yeah.
Cool. A 23.
Class. They call it difficulty class. I always call it difficulty check. I just need looking for my table. 23, you say, huh? Yeah. Okay, perfect. It's very heavy and very difficult. However, you are able to slowly get enough to lift it over the wood thing that's holding it like in place and balance it on top, and then you feel that moment of balance where it could go either way, and then you push with all your might. Do you make any sounds or yelling while you do it?
Oh, yeah, definitely grunting.
All right, so you grunt and push, and it begins rolling, but it rolls pretty slow at first, but it starts picking up speed, and it smashes into him, and he looks, he goes, "Ah!" And it hits him.
He does no such thing because he's
Why
in the
not?
zone of silence.
Oh, he goes. You can see him silently, and then it hits him, it wasn't that far away, so it doesn't break. It just kind of stops where he is, and he gets his foot stuck under it somewhat, and because he's very big himself, he's not run over by it, and he just looks irritated. But it's still your turn.
Okay. That was like a special move, so I don't think that was a attack.
Yeah, so you were able to move it. It was a special move. It was your action for this turn, but it's a surprise round, so you'll get another.
Okay.
You get another turn. It's just it didn't push with the force that you had hoped it had, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Needed
Well,
a little higher for that. Okay, so moving on, Nash. You're the only one that I think didn't plan anything, so
Yeah, I don't have anything planned. I'm just going to cast something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb, and I'm going to assign it acid damage.
Okay.
Oh wait, you said immune to thunder, didn't you? Okay, so we're good there. All right, so here comes for hit. Proficiency in there. 22.
Okay, 22 to hit. Now he is partially covered by the barrel that's now in front of him. However, you've rolled high enough to hit.
Okay. I'm going to do my damage then. Well, first I'm going to say, I could use a lot of magic, but in this case, I'm throwing a chromatic orb in your effing face. Was it 48? Hold on. Yeah, 48. And
I forgot orb was at the end of chromatic orb.
yeah.
I'm guessing the rhyme was magic and chromatic.
Well, I said face at the end, so it's.
Hey, you saved it. You saved it.
Yeah, I saved it. All right, 48s. Here we go. Damage, Mohammed, 22 points of
All right,
damage.
22. The chromatic acid that you fire off at it hits him. It's a hit, and it splashes all over him and appears to have no effect.
Oh.
And you can see him beginning to laugh silently.
I thought he was. I didn't know he was immune to that.
You remember too late that he's immune to acid damage.
Shit. All right. That's my move.
All right, Stanley, you're up.
All right, we're gonna flare as a bonus action the heat metal on diplomacy again.
Okay.
Just to
Damage
get
roll.
that done. That's 11 more points of fire damage to him.
Okay, it's really melting his shoulder.
Uh,
There's steam billowing now out of his shoulder, like there's a George Foreman grill in his shoulder blade.
and let's see.
Taste the
An
meat,
action.
not the heat.
I don't know. Then just to be different, I take out the Corpse Slayer dagger that I have and I throw it into him.
Corpse Slayer dagger? Okay.
Yeah.
Does it do anything? Does it have any magical effects?
I
or
don't
is
think
it just...
any. I think it's only undead.
Alright, you're gonna throw a knife at him.
Yeah, throw a knife at him. Why
Alright,
not?
it's a finesse. Knives are finesse weapons, daggers and all that, so you can use your dex.
I don't know if that's gonna work. That's a 11.
You fire it at him again, it just sort of whizzes past him and he's still laughing now. Or-
Yeah, that's it. That's the turn.
Alright, squirts.
All right, we see you for what you are. And she casts Guiding Bolt.
Guiding bolt. Alright. We haven't had a... Everything feels new with you all the time. A flash of light streaks towards a creature of choice. Make a ranged spell attack, so you have to make an attack roll, please.
It's a 1.
Uh-oh. On a
And the
hit.
squirts is sparkling.
All right, so you go to fire off your guiding bolt, and as is the way of tricks, this attack appears to have tricked you, and you fire it off, and it arcs upwards and around your head and hits you in your bum. So you basically shoot it out, and it goes and smacks you in the bum, and you take 46 radiant damage.
46 radiant bum damage.
That was not funny. And she'll shake her fist at the gods as she takes 15 damage.
Okay, Varel, back to you.
All right. I will run into the zone of silence.
All right. So you emerge from, you run into the zone. Now there's a barrel between you and the Nikoloth. That's about as tall, a little bit taller than you.
I would like to jump over the barrel,
Mm-hmm.
grab diplomacy, and just start yanking it downward.
Like using your weight to drive it through his body, basically.
Yeah.
All right. Making an athletics roll for the climb and jump, please.
All right. So it goes, ah, and then stops as I enter the zone of silence.
And as you jump over, your head goes out a little bit. And you hear ah, and then it goes back down.
Perfect. As I fly through the air, I, brace myself, enter my rage, and still dead silence.
Can you perform all the yelling? What was the roll first before I get to
16.
Okay. This is a success, but the only way it succeeds is if you successfully perform the yelling and the breaks. So you're going in, and then you're silent, then you jump up, and then you go in. All right, wait, I was talking. Start again. I want to hear it. All right, perfect. And you grab onto the sword, and the sword, because it's like George Foreman heat level, just cooks the flesh as you put all of your weight on it, and just. So how much damage does the heat metal do on the initial burn?
2d6 in this case with where I cast that. Or,
Okay.
I'm sorry, 2d8.
So you've rolled 15 for your check. If I remember correctly, it was 15 that you rolled for him?
For the athletics, 16.
Yeah, 16. All right. So, and you said 2d6.
2d8 for heat metal.
Man, my hearing. All right.
No, I
2d8.
did say that, but I corrected it. So you heard right.
So I think maybe a rate of 5 per trigger is good here. So roll 6d8 burning, like fire damage, Pharrell.
All right.
Including any bonuses you get from rolling damage, if applicable.
Yes. $6d8, you said?
6d8.
32 plus my strength plus raging
Holy crap.
would be 38.
Okay, so as you jump over and do the and you grab onto the sword, and it's heating his insides right now and cooking them. There's steam shooting out of the hole even. You grab onto it and you just drag down, and it cuts the whole way through his body from shoulder to groin. And it cooks like searing a steak. It cooks both sides of the body, so the acidic blood doesn't, only a little bit spills out, but it's like cooked over like a rough beef surface, like roast beef. It looks like on both sides. As you cut through, and the smell of delicious meats fills the air, except you don't hear any of it. You just see it. It all happens in a zone of silence. So just silently, there's a, and the Nikoloth falls in half with both sides of his two halves cooked like it was on a George Foreman grill.
Wow.
Awesome.
And it drops dead in the zone of silence.
I land. Hero landing.
Does it make any sound? He's still in the zone. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in the zone. So and then I stand up, whip the blade around, hold it by the blade facing Stanley, and say,
You're holding it by the... You also take fire damage from holding the blade.
I'm resistant to it.
Wow. All right.
Nice.
So how much fire damage do I take from holding the blade?
Also,
You're
as soon as
resistant to
I
it.
saw him kill the demon, I would have dropped the effect.
Okay.
He's resistant to it anyways.
Yeah,
Well,
I can,
resistance
Not
is half
immune.
damage, right?
Yeah,
I can roll it. Let's see. Let me roll.
Yeah, he held it. If he can take
Yeah.
damage, he has to take damage.
6 fire damage.
All right.
So,
So-
3.
3 damage.
You take 3 fire damage, and you're holding it.
Holding it,
Stanley, the
like
longer
I would present a sword to him, honorably.
All right,
Well-
it flies back.
okay.
Catch
and
it.
does perfect, and he takes care not to cut you as he rips it from your hand. He can carefully take it, or just like give you a paper cut,
And nod
All right.
approvingly, and say, and start heading up the stairs.
All right. Does the rest of the party follow up the stairs?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'll gather my dagger that I stupidly threw. I didn't have anything else I could do because I found out that Vicious Mockery wouldn't go through the bubble. So
And we're doing it with stealth.
Well, we're doing it in
yeah.
the group. Wait, if we cast the group thing?
Oh, wait, are we gonna do pass without a trace
Yeah.
yet, or are we gonna wait?
Yeah, when do we do
Might
that?
as well start it up.
I mean,
Yeah, we got an hour.
Yeah.
Kristen,
All
you still
right.
have your...
Yes, we do this. We go fast. Not last long.
All right. So as part of Pass Without Trace... Oh, do you want to say your magic words first? If you have any. You don't have to have them.
Let's see.
Better anything I ever do.
I mean, she'll say
Like a
these
fart throughout
rhymes are
space?
great.
If like a fart throughout space, we will pass without a trace.
See?
Perfect.
Catching on there.
She'll say, now, okay, we ready? We go find your friends. And she blows ashes from a burned leaf of mistletoe while holding this weird sprig of spruce. And it starts radiating from her.
Okay, perfect. And so if you're within 30 feet of her, you get plus 10 to your stealth, plus 10 to your dexterity stealth checks. And yeah, you can't be tracked. So all of a sudden, the magical effect of this, everyone, as you look around, people that are nearby, almost feels like the edges of your corporeal being are somewhat like edged out of reality in this very weird, strange way. Almost imperceptible, but when you kind of look at your hands and your feet and you step, you notice the noise isn't as loud. It's very weird. Right, so the four of you, we're going to skip the stealth check because we're getting close to the end of the episode, and we're going to leave it to the cliffhanger. So the party begins ascending the stairs, quietly, stealthily looking around. As you get to the top of the stairs and peer over, you see two large beings, Nikoloths again. And they're both, as soon as you sort of look over to see them, one of them says to the other, "It sounds like one of them's giving them a hard time in the center of this dump. Let us go show him the meaning of annihilation." "Yes, let us go." And the two move around and exit what you recollect to be the front entrance of the keep. And the hallway's empty. So you quickly look around. You see that it's empty. You hustle, taking your time very carefully to try and not make any noise, and move to the keep. The throne room door is broken, and you look inside, and there are lots of fist marks on the walls and crumpled room, and the throne is destroyed completely. The place is just wrecked, but there's nobody in the keep. And as you peer out the front of the castle door that was left ajar from the two Nikoloths who left, you see that the sky is filled with Nikoloths floating around in circles, just like the Wicked Witch of the West, Wicked Witch of the West, flying around in circles above, and then you see below Nikoloths patrolling, looking around, lifting up rocks, punching holes in windows, looking for any remaining survivors in Tiet Kala. And over the horizon, you see the familiar top of the roof, the Golden Sands, and you see a little flag, Varel, sailing from the top of it. The remnant of something you might have planned in case of an emergency. There are survivors inside, and they're looking for help. That's where we end it today.
Oh, man.
That was good.
It was good. We're all gonna die. All right, that's awesome. Well done. And, of course, we'll continue this on next week when we come back with more There Will Be Dungeons. Don't forget, you can support this show by heading on over to therewillbedungeons.com and becoming a Dungeons Plus member. By doing that, you get a bunch of rad rewards, bonus shows, which we're about to record, actually. So you get one today. And the rest of the world has to wait for stuff like that. So if you want more, get more by signing up today.
Take that, rest of the world.
Yeah, take that, everybody else. That's it. Therewillbedungeons.com. Therewillbedungeons.com. Follow us on Twitter at ThereBeDungeons. You can find all our personal accounts up on the site. That'll do it for us. For me, for John, for Bo, for Kyle, for Kristen, for Baby Chunks. We'll see. We'll see you next time.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
We did it.
Use me